Outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move. Cuts to the net. Score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero. United States wins gold in Milan.
6:01, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. That's Megan Keller, the American hero, scoring 4 minutes and 7 seconds into overtime as the U.S. women's hockey team take the gold medal, beating Canada 2-1. Hillary Knight tied the game at 1 with 2:04 left to play in regulation, and then Keller did the rest. It's the third gold medal for the U.S. women's team, first since 2018. Today, coming up, the U.S. men's team is back in action as they take on Slovakia in the semifinals, which starts at 2:10 p.m. Central Time. In NFL news, it's good news for Eagles, per Jeff McClain of the Philadelphia Inquirer, as five-time All-Pro right tackle Lane Johnson, he's returning for his 14th season with the Philadelphia Eagles. Coming up on Saturday, it's Nashville SC who takes the pitch for the first start of the MLS season, hosting New England Revolution at Geodis Park with the 7:30 p.m. first kick. You can hear the match right here on 104.5 The Zone. Will Bowling's got the call. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock. Also, in men's college hoops tomorrow, Tennessee comes to town to face number 19 Vanderbilt at Memorial Gym in Nashville with a 1 p.m. tip-off. You can hear the game right here on 104.5 The Zone. Coverage for that one starts at 12:30. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once and you're home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Off and running on your Friday morning edition of Ramon and Will. Good morning and welcome to the end of your week, the gateway to your weekend. 615-737-1045 is the number. We await a decision in the Joey Aguilar case as Tennessee football continues in a holding pattern, and Joey gets ready to still maybe go hang out at the NFL Combine for a little bit. Well, no maybe about it. He's going to go hang out at the NFL Combine. Brent Hubs joins us with the latest this morning at 7:20. We go through what it's like to go through the NFL Combine. One of the perks of having an 11-year NFL veteran in the room is that he's experienced everything that there is to experience, essentially, in the National Football League. We'll talk about that. Plus, Tennessee and Vandy this weekend at the Hardwood in Memorial Gymnasium. Lots to discuss there, and Ron Slay will stop by to do exactly that at 9:20. He's Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins, our producer. I am Will Bowling. Good morning. How we doing?
We're good, I think. Happy Friday, man. Most definitely. I got up this morning, Roman Peloton.
There you go.
I went for a walk yesterday. You ever had a life decision? Like, I've been working out and doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are. Hawk probably just a supreme athlete. He doesn't need to get in shape. He's like Superman out here. Only thing that makes him tired is kryptonite. Is that right?
You're 100% correct.
I knew it. I just had a feeling.
I'm just back here living my best life.
That's what I'm saying. But
don't have to do anything.
I walked, my neighborhood's got a steep incline in one of the side streets or whatever, and dog, your boy was winded going up that hill, okay? and I was just like, usually it gets me anyway. You know, you just like, okay, we're in it.
Sure, absolutely.
Keisha and I did it like 3 times, the hill or whatever, and then we walked it back in the neighborhood. We got like over a mile and a half walk in like 28 minutes.
Not bad.
Like, okay, cool. And I say, you know what, dog, you hit me about the combine stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, man, you are a world-class athlete. In no version of your life should you ever be out of shape, okay? And I said yesterday, I was like, 4:30, we up. We paying for the Peloton subscription. Right. We up. And I said, if I'm tired, we up, okay? I'm messing with it. It's where I'm at this morning, man. So I got to it this morning. So it is what it is, dog.
How far did you go?
This morning I did a 30-minute ride. Man, dude was killing it with a crazy incline on it as well. It was good. I just went upstairs and did it. But it was one of those start to Friday off. Because I do Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
And Friday be like, okay, well, we chilling today. I said, no, we're going to carp diem today early in the morning. So I went there, got my workout out, and ran into traffic also over there by Trinity. I think there's a big accident over there. So y'all give yourself a little bit more time if you got to pass Trinity because there's a bunch of rubbernecking over there.
I was a definitely not world-class athlete, maybe a city class, community class, neighborhood class athlete. And I feel the same way all the time because, cardio strength leaves you very quickly when you leave it.
You ever had that? You know, the worst thing about getting in shape too is actually starting the journey, and then that low back is hurting a little bit when you're running and
Yes.
stuff. That's because of the core is
no.
weak.
I've
You never
never
had
had
that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, see, for me, my back issues is really because I have a degenerated disc in my back. So that really just
part of the party as
starts
well.
it. But for me, like when I run for the first time in a while, I'll just go too hard and I'll run too long
So that's the problem.
because I know I can run. So I'll just be like, yeah, I'll just do 6 miles. And I had ran into
no, don't do that.
Okay.
Do
That's-
not do that.
That's not okay. It's
terrible.
That's asking for.
Yeah, you're asking for it.
Yeah, you're asking
exactly.
for it. My low back, my degenerative disc, I've had like epidural before. It's actually by far one of the craziest things ever. I had it
Feel a lot better?
actually my rookie year. I had a bulging disc and something else going on. Like I had the shooting pain down my leg. Hey, football, right?
That's right.
I don't know. I didn't play football.
Then your wife had the same
I
procedure.
tell you what, I did play football. Pee-wee.
You never played in high
2004
school?
Pee-wee champs.
Really?
I don't know.
I didn't know that about you.
What position did you play?
Safety and running
Okay.
back.
I was going to say get back. You set me up for that one.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go.
I'm back. He cut my mic off.
That's the power that I have.
Sure. Well, we begin this morning with very sad news in the Tennessee sports world and in the Vols community. Yesterday, longtime sports reporter and journalist Wes Rucker passed away, dying in a car crash yesterday afternoon. He was 43 years old. You've probably read Wes's work, heard him on this station, heard him on many stations, or seen him on social media. He's covered Tennessee for over 25 years, since 2000 as a student journalist at the Daily Beacon, at Go Vols 247, and most recently at WBIR Channel 10 in Knoxville. His father-in-law confirmed the death in a Facebook post last night, and Ramon, is someone who was just a pioneer in the digital media world, someone who was on the cutting edge of Twitter and social media and reporting and writing and in covering Tennessee, something that he was so passionate about. But I don't really even want to start there about Wes Rucker, because Wes Rucker was a husband. He was a father with a young son named Hank, who was about to have a baby sister. And his wife, they announced, was pregnant on December the 31st. He was a brother, a friend to so many people in East Tennessee. The journalism is what he did. Mm-hmm. His kindness, his heart, his ability to care for people that he rubbed shoulders with and covered Tennessee with. That's the way I will remember Wes Rucker. It's the way I think a lot of people will, and the way he treated other people. Mm-hmm. This really got me yesterday. This is really, really sad news. And Ramon, I know someone that you'd spent time around as well.
No doubt about it, man. Even while in college, like his name is very apparent to me with how long he's been on the beat and been around the University of Tennessee sports as well. Before I even left, it was guys I remember off top. One of those guys, Brent Hubs, who we'll have today, and Wes Rucker was on the beat early in that digital age when I was going back and checking message boards to see what people were saying about me as well, or if I made an article too. Like Wes was in the mix, man. And to your point, losing somebody of that sports community, and especially Knoxville. Knoxville's still a big town. A lot of those guys are really good friends and they communicate with one another. And as you said, man, a lot of focus should be on his young son, his wife, his soon-to-be child as well, and his family, because his death is very public, and they're going to need a lot of support with how it happened as well. So I thought about it all last night.
Yeah, me too.
This morning. Mm-hmm. That's why you and I both, we do this job and we have fun with it, but we always make sure that the person side always come out. We give you us. And the relationships we have with guys, I had with guys like Wes and Hubs and Austin and everybody else here in this Nashville market as well, they're always back and forth run-ins. But I always say, like, man, people be good to everybody. And Wes is one of those guys that is going to be missed in that community and just in Tennessee in general.
No doubt about it. Wes Rucker was the kind of person, through any conversation I ever had with him or involvement I had with him, when he asked about something going on in your life, he really genuinely cared and wanted to know more about you. He was the type of person that you could tell was genuinely interested in being around there for other people, in knowing more about what they're going through, both good or bad, and went the extra mile to be a friend.
Right.
And he was always extremely kind to me anytime we ever covered an event together, and we did for about 4 years there in Knoxville when I was a student journalist and kind of going through a lot of the path that he did. But anyone who's gone through media in Knoxville knows Wes Rucker's heart and the way that he really cared about his family and was so passionate about his work, passionate about the job that he did. My heart breaks for his family. It is just heartbreaking going through that. And, man, we send prayers, send the best to his wife, to his son, to the rest of his family, Ramon. He was an institution. There's no question in Tennessee sports media.
Right, no doubt about it. Life is precious.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word, man. The simple tasks and operations we're asked to do, we take for granted sometimes, man. And that's why we always say, call your people. Holler at them. Put them at the top of your mind. If you had a thought about calling a friend, I've been very intentional with my friends.
Yeah, right.
Inky, Gerard, Rob, and all of us have made a creed this year. Like, if we think of it, we're hitting each other up.
For sure.
And that's why I think all of us need to be in that boat as well. It's 43. That's young.
Well, it's a reminder of a couple of things to me, Ramon. First of all, when we interact with people on social media, there is a person behind the Twitter handle.
Facts.
There is a father or a daughter or a son or a sister or a brother, and you never know when you're not going to have the opportunity to interact with that person anymore. And there were thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who interacted with Wes Rucker on social media, and they're not going to get that privilege anymore.
No doubt.
It humanizes digital interactions with people who are public figures. And it's a reminder to me that these are human beings. These are people that can be taken from you in an instant. And the heartbreak associated with that, I think, is something that's very poignant on a morning like this when you remember someone who's gone so far too soon and so quickly. But yeah, to your point, if you think someone's kind, if you think someone's good to you, tell them. Tell them while they can benefit from it in this life.
No doubt.
I'm so happy to see so many people encourage Wes Rucker and speak truth into who he was and into his life and the good things that he did last night and again more this morning after his passing. I hope many of those people also spoke that truth to him while he was here. Because you never know when you're not going to have that ability either, Mo, whether that's in person or digital, as you know. And I love the message you give every Friday at the end of the show. Call someone random, tell them you love them, right? And boy,
it hits home today.
It really, really does.
Yes, it does. We'll have Hubs on. We'll see. I know he had some stuff in the general quarters. And again, kudos to them, too, at VolQuest, were with a lot of class, were removing comments, and they were necessary. The family and everybody involved with Wes immediately need to be able to say and announce those types of things.
Right,
so
right.
Appreciate y'all, man. Vol Nation, Tennessee, sports journalist world, you lost a real good one, man. I'm talking about all the way back to the school paper, the Daily Beacon, and working his way up with a name that he has still to this day. So tough.
Yeah, again, longtime sports reporter Wes Rucker passed away yesterday at the age of 43, the only fatality in a multi-vehicle crash at I-40 West, according to a Knoxville police news release. We'll get back to that a little bit more as the show goes and remember him more. It's one of those days where it does feel pretty shallow talking about sports and continuing to do other things when life gives you an event so heavy. We are going to get back to sports. We're going to get back to, I guess, what you would call regularly scheduled programming throughout the morning, but we will still remember him, and we will still talk more about this as the show goes this morning. Coming up, we'll do exactly that. Ramona Will continues after this on 104.5 The Zone. For over 50 years, Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the Brentwood community with exceptional style and exceptional deals every day. I can personally vouch for Brentwood Jewelry's service, the products that they offer, the ease of shopping for some pretty important items, like an engagement ring. That's what I did. I walked into Brentwood Jewelry not knowing exactly what I was looking for, and they made it so easy for me. Salem and his entire team, the Imamali family, they're dedicated to giving back, and they really make you feel like a part of the family the second you walk in the door. As a family-owned and operated business spanning 3 generations, they're deeply rooted in the Middle Tennessee community, from Salem service and special forces to his son serving as local firefighters. In a time that's imperative to shop local, shop Brentwood Jewelry. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. You can check them out online at BrentwoodJewelry.com. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for over 50 years. That's Brentwood Jewelry, online at BrentwoodJewelry.com. Ramona Will off and running on your Friday morning edition of the show. 615-737-1045 is our number. With Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling at Ramon and Will, where you can stream the show as well. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. So, of course, yesterday we started talking about Titans coordinators, Ramon, with the offense because offense sells tickets, despite the fact the defense wins championships. Gus Bradley spoke as well, and I think spoke well enough that he certainly wasn't an afterthought. But when your OC is a former head coach and is speaking about your quarterback, you tend to start there. Wanted to spend a little bit more time on Gus Bradley, Ramon, and what he talked about. And I want to start here, how he will help Robert Saleh on game day. This was the Titans defensive coordinator meeting with the media on Wednesday.
I think that, it was always, let's look at all aspects, whether it's first and second down, third down, red zone. And I'll throw out ideas. Hey, Gus, what are your thoughts in the red zone? What are your thoughts on third down? Looking at film. And then we throw him out there. But obviously, he's the decision maker. There's things last year that came up that he'd say, that's a good thought, but I really want to go in this direction. And it's like, that's great. And then there's sometimes it would stick. So I think it was more just to keep them, say, let's challenge each other. Well, always believer, I think within the organization, you challenge one another, but never attack, never make it personal. But in order to get better, you have to have challenges. And I think that's where there's great trust amongst us, that we know it's not coming from a bad place, it's coming from a great place. And as you know, camaraderie amongst the staff is so important. And I think when you have that trust, when you don't have to worry about that part of it, it really opens the door to being challenged.
Do you think it has to change at all now that he's the head coach? Do you have to take a little bit more of a ownership?
He had a lot on his plate last year, visiting with Kyle, because Kyle and him were really close. So, I think that'll evolve, whatever that role looks like or continues to grow to be, as far as the input and things like that. But I'm really at a good stage as far as that. I think it's just a part of, our job is to serve the head coach, serve this team, serve, the organization, and go about it that way. And I think during my career, that's what I seem to operate best, when I have that kind of a mindset.
Ramon, what stands out about what you hear from Gus Bradley there?
That they don't have to be so touch and go with everything. That they could settle in and talk and have a plan and not worry about egos, not worry about if they're stepping on anybody's toes. And then also approaching the job with respect to the head coach, or as Gus Bradley's already done to his DC, like there's no tension whatsoever. I think a lot of time with these types of jobs, when it's a bunch of newness and a bunch of people that haven't worked together, because staffs come from all directions across the league too, you got to try to feel each other out. And hearing the way Gus Bradley's described Robert Saleh so far, it tells me that he's an open book to all ideas, and that no means of communication is bad for him. That's what I like more than anything, because you don't have to start guessing if it's a good idea or not. Robert Saleh is going to tell you, but he'll also let you know that he takes your word strong. And that's what I appreciate about what this process is as well. Technically, for me, essentially, nothing changes, especially when it comes down to their, plans for this team. Learning the personnel is different, but nothing changes with them.
Do you think that dynamic is more challenging to navigate, considering Robert Saleh is the head coach now?
Is it more challenging to navigate? No, because I think the other part of it is something I thought of as well, is now you can have Gus Bradley actually running the defense while Robert Saleh does do head coaching duties. And I think them having that process in play already is going to benefit them, because he knows what Coach Saleh wants. If there's a game plan in which they can communicate with one another, Robert Saleh can pass it to him. Gus Bradley installs it, coaches it, and he go do his thing as well. I just think having a guy like Gus Bradley allows him to be a better head coach as well. I don't see it much as a problem. And more than anything, you can just probably having those veteran eyes on any defensive team is nothing but beneficial for him.
I do like the trust dynamic that Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley will already have, and the fact that there is muscle memory here. I think that matters. And I think especially for a head coach that's going to take on defensive play calling duties, it's important to have someone you wholly and completely trust. If you do have to spend a little bit of extra time giving your input to the offense or to Daboll to say, hey, I want to go for it here.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just a Brian Daboll decision. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how those decisions play out in real time. And maybe Robert Saleh really does mean what he says at this point. Hey, Daboll's got full control of everything on offense. There are still decisions or conversations, I imagine, he will want to at least be involved in and hear. I mean, I imagine the offensive coaches are still in his headset.
Absolutely.
During the game, but if you're going to navigate that process, it's best to do it with someone who, I mean, literally just in the past year, Ramon, you've had live bullets flying with on the sideline.
Right, no doubt. And to your point about the live bullets on the sideline is this. Some coaches can get neglectful. I think Brian Callahan admitted that himself as far as his lack of attention that he had towards the defense and special teams, right? What Gus Bradley and Robert Saleh's communication and relationship could allow is for Coach Saleh to watch the offense, be able to manage, in some sentiment, Brian Daboll while the defense is being taken care of by Coach Bradley. Like, those are the things that you want on game day to allow the flow to happen so that when the defense is ready to get back on the communication, to go over the headsets from Coach Bradley to the rest of the defensive coaches on what they like, what they want to do is already been communicated to him, and he can just pass it to Coach Saleh. Any kind of adjustments, especially if he knows what the defense is intimately, Gus Bradley that is, he can tell him we should go this route. And again, as he said, Coach Saleh has the right to veto whatever he's saying, but it seems to me that he's got a strong understanding. This, to me, is the difference between this staff and the last one, is being able to be transparent and fluid in communication. And on game day, it's not a lot of talking over the headset. Offense has their channel, defense has their channel, and it's only like one or two coaches that speak. Usually the coaches go up to one another and verbally give information and not a whole lot of mess over the headphones. And this, to me, simplifies that process all the way through, considering you got guys that intimately know what the defense is and how you want to run it, and probably some of the tendencies as well.
I at least like that a lot of the questions we have about this coaching staff and about the Titans at least have proof of concept answers. We have questions about Robert Saleh as a head coach and understanding how to manage a game and manage the quarterback position. He's at least done it before and can learn from what didn't work in New York. We have questions about Gus Bradley and Robert Saleh's communication as one calls plays and the other has a defensive coordinator title, but not necessarily many of the responsibilities that come with that for many of the other 32 teams. That dynamic has at least already worked and worked well and succeeded in San Francisco. And I think you have, too, an offensive play caller and a quote-unquote offensive head coach that we have questions about management of people, management of play calling of a quarterback. He's succeeded in doing all of those things as well. There are no questions we have that don't at least have answers of, well, here's what happened the last time they did it. Right. And oftentimes you hire people in this league who've never done these jobs, and you've just got a big question mark. It may not mean that they're bad at them. It just means that it's a question mark. And I like at least that this is one of those questions, and I wouldn't even say concerns, but just questions.
Yeah.
That we at least already have some answers to.
Yeah, no doubt. And the one question, so as you talk about the game management side of it and the processes of knowing what it's all about, offensively, we go back real quick. I do want to know and hear Cade Knox speak at some point in time. He's on the offensive side of the ball. He's listed as the offensive assistant and game management. Because I saw somebody in our YouTube chat bring up, well, these types of things affect what happens on fourth down. I wonder what that communication is like from Cade Knox to Coach Saleh to Coach Daboll and how they go about, managing that. Or will Coach Saleh be an eyes on the offense type of defensive coordinator as well and let Gus Bradley handle the sideline and what the next series is going to ask of it, That is something that most definitely I want to see going into the fall.
Yeah, Cade Knox, who brought in for game management and offensive assistant with the Titans. He is essentially Stretch.
Yeah.
That's what Stretch was for Mike Vrabel. And you're good enough at that job, you become a character.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
At the job, for sure. I do think he's a Harvard guy. Cade Knox is. I'm interested how analytically driven the Titans become with many of those decisions or feel. And, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face as well. And until they face 4th and 4 on their, own 40 with 6 minutes left and down by 4. Like there are a lot of different things that they can say what their plan is today. I'm interested to see what that plan really looks like and how that actually manifests itself once you get punched in the mouth and once the bullets start flying.
No doubt, because it's funny you say that, too, the getting punched in the mouth side of it, because I never really met Gus Bradley. I'm sure he's met and scouted me and playing stuff against the teams and defenses that I've played against, but I never met the person. And you hear a lot of these, especially defensive coordinators, their personalities, like you hear Jim Schwartz, you hear Greg Williams, and the ones that have these menacing defenses, they're usually, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the adjective? They're really mean guys, is what I want to say. Like, they come equipped with an attitude. I think even when you look at Robert Saleh on game day, he comes equipped with an attitude. It was fascinating hearing Coach Gus Bradley describe himself. He said, usually I'm an 85 and sunny guy, so he's basically an optimistic person. He works in that world, and I've never met a defensive coordinator that works in that world.
That's fair.
So I think that personality is unique, especially if Coach Saleh runs hot. That's what we also have to see is how is he and what does Coach Bradley do to help him? Not saying that he does, but hearing him speak, the role that he's in right now at almost 60 years old, he seems like a guy that leads from the side, and he's okay with that. Coach, you tell me what to do. I'm here to support you. And again, to this sporting world where guys are always trying to elevate themselves or validate themselves, however he got to Gus Bradley at this point in his career, I see nothing but benefit from it. A dude like him who's been a Super Bowl winning DC, defensive coordinator, to I ain't going to say just be happy to do the job, but is willing to just do the job and get no credit and just assist you from the side, that's how you building a daggone good staff.
Well, it too implies faith in Robert Saleh. The fact that Gus Bradley would take a non-play calling defensive coordinator job just to stick around with Robert Saleh because he really likes working with Robert Saleh. When smart people want to work with you, especially maybe with less resources and from what reports are saying, a smaller offer financially than what the Arizona Cardinals offer, you've got a lot of faith in that person and want to go work with them.
It puts you in a different world, man, when you got support like that from a guy that's been validated, because that's all we want in this world is either know our stuff is that good or have somebody tell us or want to be with us that shows us that it's that good. And
he's showing it because, again, like to your point again, everyone in an introductory press conference will say nice things about the person they're working for. Yeah. His actions speak even louder than his words to say, no, I want to go work with Robert Saleh.
Mm-hmm. And it's cool, too, hearing we're getting answers in real time that we'll probably ask later this summer. But the part that I love, though, too, is the way they're going to go about challenging each other. I think offense to defense is going to be super unique because I do think there's a little bit of a fine sandpaper that needs for the defense, specifically like Jeff. How do you get your guys better without, it's never been personal, but Jeff comes off hot. How do you get to challenge one another without it being personal? This is for us to sharpen, like the iron sharpens iron, statement that we always use. That to me is what I'm most fascinated with as well, because this is a lot of experience, Will. Like they can just throw
Gus Bradley meaning has a lot of experience. Yeah,
he can throw the house at Dable, and Dable can answer back. You know what I'm saying? Like this management is going to be huge, which is why I think it's crucial to have Gus Bradley in this role to lead from the side. Like, all right, coach, pull it back. We kind of got him today. If you got to have those types of conversations.
Well, you lived that in Knoxville with David Cutcliffe coaching against Jim Chaney on the practice field.
Oh, John Chavis was my guy, Chief.
That's what I meant. Sorry,
yeah,
John Chavis. I was thinking of two different offense coordinators. Yeah, John Chavis, Chief.
That right there, at any moment in time, it could go rogue. Do you hear me?
We've talked about it with Brent Hubs. Like there'd be practice periods y'all had that there was a script, and then all of a sudden somebody gets somebody else in another play, and it's Chiefs now bringing 8.
Dude, hear me out. Like I'm seeing a junior linebacker and Kevin Burnett just run through the A gap, and I'm a freshman. Like this is not supposed to be happening right now. And at that point, Cut loses his mind. Coach Randy Sanders lost his mind. But here's what we're getting at is you need those, but it needs to be matched with respect.
Sure.
And the way everybody on this team has been clamoring for something good, you got a group of guys now that know how to manage that.
I thought this was an interesting answer on T'Vondre Sweat's future in the Titans defense. Someone who maybe on one hand doesn't appear to be the best schematic fit considering he is built like a nose tackle. But on the other hand, in the words of Rain Carthon, the guy that drafted him, has skills that God didn't give a whole lot of humans at the size that he is at as well. This was Gus Bradley talking about T'Vondre Sweat's future role.
Well, I think, to be honest with you right now, we're talking about staff. We're going through scheme. We're, giving the scouts a good idea what each position looks like. Had conversations. We're really excited about all the guys. And that's just, I've always believed that when you come into a new situation, the previous staff has done a good job. There's obviously some good things that have taken place with them. Our job is to continue to add to what they've already built and take it to another level. And also, I think that's very important as coaching staff, we give the players a fresh start. I think in the years I've done it, when a new staff comes in, that's what they're hoping for. Man, I just hope I have a fresh start, that you don't talk to everybody in the building, get all these notions of who I am and what I'm all about, and then you base your opinion off of that rather than just meet me, watch me play, and then make judgment. And so I'm really trying to stay in that world. I think Robert is too, to try to protect that part of it, to say, let's get to know them. We're excited about everybody in the building, and let's give them that fresh start. And let's see what takes place.
A fresh start, Ramon, for T'Vondre Sweat.
Necessary. That's all you ever want, especially at those positions. I remember when Munch came in. I'm nervous about this. This is a
former Titans head coach Mike Munchak, one of your offensive line coaches.
I didn't heard about him before. He came to Pittsburgh. Fernando Velasco, former Titan himself. I played with him in Pittsburgh. Yes, also. He kept saying, man, if y'all get Munch, you're going to love him. So I'm already on high alert about what he is as a player. As a coach, then you find out he's got a gold jacket as well. And for him to be as fair as he was to all of us in the room and meet us at face value was one of the coolest things ever, Will, I must say. And that's what you're looking for as a player. I know T'Vondre and a lot of other guys probably got anxiety. Do I fit their mold? That's the first thing you want to know as a player, because this is my job. This is my dream. Will they trade me somewhere if I'm not their guy to a good place? Will it be a place I can succeed? Like, all these things, to your point, go through your mind. But what I will say still with Coach Gus Bradley, he still didn't give an answer about T'Vondre. He just said, we give him a fresh start. And that's as fair as you can do when you're looking at this situation, because here's what I will say. He'll say that publicly, but they'll have their perceived, perceptions of him in general, and it's on him to prove to him right or wrong when it comes down to when he walks inside of that building.
Coming up, a Power 4 coach in college athletics gave a statement yesterday that I thought provided common sense in a world where a lot of college coaches don't have much common sense. We'll finish up hour one with that coming up next on our Morning Will. What's up? It's Will Bowling telling you about my friends at Brentwood Hearing Center, whose team of doctors of audiology is always committed to providing patients with the most recent hearing device technology. Maybe you've been in a crowded restaurant recently and you realized you don't hear as well as you used to. Or maybe you've been around a family member recently and you are even more confident that they don't hear as well as they used to. Well, Brentwood Hearing Center is dedicated to helping find out where you are having the most trouble hearing and pinpointing a solution to help you. Not somebody else's needs, not just the factory settings when you get a hearing aid out of the box, but a plan for you in tailoring that technology to fit the noises you're not hearing while you're at work, while you're in a crowded restaurant, or while you're spending time with friends and family. If I could be describing you or a family member who could benefit from this, give Brentwood Hearing Center a call at 615-377-0420 or visit them online at BrentwoodHearingCenter.com. They'll get you off the sidelines and back in the game. 615-377-0420, Brentwood Hearing Center. Better hearing, better life. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Are you tired of surprise breakdowns and emergency repairs on your home systems? Well, Lead Company Plus gives you a smarter way to care for your home. For as little as $14 a month, Lead Company Plus members receive 4 annual inspections for their heating, for their air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. Plus, members receive up to 20% off on every visit and have access to exclusive discounts and promotions. You can learn more online at leadcompany.com/plus. Platinum Home Protection starts with a Lead Company Plus membership. If you've been around Middle Tennessee for a couple of years, you probably know just how trusted Lead Company is in this community, and you've probably seen their fleet of vehicles driving around the area. If you're new to town, this is the place to go. Over 80 years of experience serving the Middle Tennessee area. You got to get Lead Company on your team. Head online to leadcompany.com/plus to learn more. That's Lead Company, all you need. So it feels like today in college sports, we talk a lot about things and have strong opinions on things that honestly don't really affect us. So I'm always curious when there is someone with maybe a different perspective who's living it. We got that yesterday in college basketball. Ramona will wrap it up hour number 1 this morning. 615-737-1045, our number. Illinois head coach Brad Underwood, Ramon, is someone that I've always respected, who I've always, from a distance, felt like coached and did the job the right way. He's a head coach at Illinois, Big Ten, travel restraints, travel challenges are a big topic right now in college athletics as conferences get bigger and become more nationwide. Brad Underwood, after his team stomped USC, was asked about some of those travel challenges and traveling across the country, and I thought he gave us some common sense yesterday.
We were talking at the end of the game about how it's not easy, these east to west and west east long road trips, but how nice is it this late in the season for you to have a stress-free game and kind of rest your starters at the end?
Yeah, I'm one of those coaches. I really don't give a daggum where we play. I don't worry about the trips. We're spoiled. We charter. We have great food. We stay in nice places. It's really not that hard. Playing on the road's really hard in the Big Ten. This is a trip that's schedule says we got to go play. We got UCLA next, who's very good and very well coached. So we just got to show up and play.
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Brad Underwood.
Beautiful.
Illinois head coach speaking after a win over USC.
That's beautiful. What else you gonna do but do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, good on him because it creates a mindset for his team. If that's how he thinks, then none of that other stuff is irrelevant. Do your homework on the plane. You're gonna stay in a nice hotel and just come out here and ball. If you want to live the professional life, that's part of it right there as well, too, is going city to city like that and being able to manage your time and energy. Beautiful from that coach, man.
Yeah.
We need more like that. There's been a lot of complaints about their travel schedule being in that division, has it not?
100%. And I think this is different from football. I think basketball is its own challenge and the grind of day in and day out and staying on the road, not going back home. If anything, Brad Underwood even has more of a platform than maybe his football coach, Brett Bielema, or other football coaches in the Big Ten, because they've got to stay on the road or get back home more quickly to turn around and play. They don't get a full week going from Saturday to Saturday or even Friday to Saturday. But he still didn't even take that opportunity. And Ramon, doesn't that help his team stay motivated and stay locked in and take away the excuse? Because I've always heard, Doug Matthews has said this for years, when coaches speak in press conferences or to the media, they're not really speaking to us as much as they are speaking to their players.
Yep. Or with something that they've already told their players that they're trying to reiterate to everybody else. Like, this doesn't matter to us, so don't ask them about the travel schedule. Don't start clouding their mind on what they should be doing or how much energy they should be reserving and stuff like that. The other cool part, too, is when they go out to the West Coast, like, let's be honest, leaving Illinois or in one of those Big Ten states to go to some warm weather is probably a little bit of a treat as well. Like, I know the travel's a part of it, but as he said, like, Will, you've been living this life too. Like, those charter flights are just different. Like, you don't have to worry about the small stuff. You can get in. I'm gonna say this to the FAA. Hopefully, listen, you ain't got to put your seatbelt on. You can walk around a little bit. They're gonna bring you a snack, a meal, another snack, and a bunch of stuff to get off the plane as well. I call it fantasy land with how we travel and do stuff. It's just not real life. And if you are getting more money from the conference because of your expansion to the West Coast and taking on some of these Big Ten teams or Pac-12 teams for that matter, there's a benefit to it as well. And that means more money for better travel. It's not like they're staying at a Motel 6 where they'll tell you they're leaving the light on.
Well, I think today, too, and I've talked to a number of coaches about this at a lot of different levels. Classes have never been more virtual and digital.
That's what we get.
And online. And honestly, post-COVID, Ramon, that's not just at the need and the desire of the students. Professors like doing online classes. They don't have to go in either. They can stay in their PJs and grade papers.
So that was, I think, what made it so much harder for us coming up. Like, my era is 2004 to 2008. Yours as well, because pre-COVID.
I had some online classes, but yes.
You did?
I was a hybrid between the two. I got a political science minor almost all on online classes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
See, they were still old school professors in that era. And like
I wanted flexibility to call games while I was still in college.
and you should, and there should be a lot more of that type of stuff allowed,
there is
to
now.
your point.
Yeah.
But like, they were adamant and just sticklers about us showing up in class. And I know we're degenerates as football players. I know we got these stereotypes. They needed to see us. Like, our professors needed to see us in class.
And so do the class checkers.
Oh my God.
From the athletic department and from the football team who'd be around to come check in on you.
You know what I did learn from that, though, as well, navigating college? I will say this, too. By them demanding us to be in class, like the professors, I learned that if you communicate with them, your grade will go up a letter.
Depends. You know my story on that, right?
No.
Oh, have I not told you this on air before?
No, I don't think I've.
Oh, okay.
You may have.
So, in my experience, and again, for background, for those who don't know my story, I was a student athlete at Tennessee for a year and a half.
Okay.
Until A, I was just bad, and B, I was hurt so much that it just wasn't worth it for me to continue running track and cross country at Tennessee. I took a travel letter to my public speaking class freshman year, to my public speaking professor. Yeah. A travel letter that literally said, "Hello, we are the Tennessee Athletic Department. This student is an athlete. These are the days where this athlete will not be here because of travel." And I handed that letter to my public speaking professor and said, "Hello, my name is Will. I am excited to take your class. Also, these are the days I'll miss for traveling for cross country."
From the athletic department.
And she goes, yeah, from the university athletic department to a professor. And she looks at me and goes, "Well, you know, you're just going to get a 0 if you're not here, right?"
Oh, that's not right.
And I was like, I'm literally giving you a letter telling you that you can't do that.
like, you're excused.
Yeah, right. I'm literally giving you a university document telling you that I am excused. So, and I was like, what do you mean?
Shut you down.
In my experience, the higher level classes and the older not older professors, but the more important classes, because public speaking, not that important in the grand scheme of classes at a higher level institution. Yeah. Those professors were infinitely more understanding and would work with you. But like the entry level ones who know that no one takes their class seriously, so they have to act so serious that way someone will take their class seriously. Those are the ones that were hard to work with.
Yeah, I figured that out like going into my junior, senior year. A little communication. Clearly, we did not have the same type of professors, Will. But they were sticklers like, you need to be in class. I didn't dislike it. It just made you balance your schedule and life a little bit differently. That's all it was.
Definitely. But so much of it is online now that
I can't wait. So,
you can take all those classes online, and I promise you, like probably all those Illinois basketball players, as they stay on the West Coast, are just taking stuff
just
online.
have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I tell all these athletes and coaches to cry me a river. For soccer, we would have to travel 9 hours to Florida from Jackson. I don't care. Like, this was the day before the game. Like, you think,
I can't relate.
You think you're tired?
Be real. I can't
doing your
relate.
homework on the bus?
Well, and two, if anyone
on.
can complain about stuff like this, it's Sacramento State joining the MAC.
Yeah.
Like, those are the athletes that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that happened like last week.
Yeah, that's a more than fair complaint. But if you're in the Power 4, or really the Power 2, like Big Ten schools that have to travel to the West Coast, like, oh no, I get to go play basketball in beautiful weather and spend time on the West Coast. Oh no, that's so bad. Coming up, A.J. Brown making headlines, Ramon.
Yeah.
On a podcast saying he hated Mike Vrabel his rookie year.
Oh, I get that.
Interesting audio you'll hear next.
7:01, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Down studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Megan Keller, the American hero, scoring 4 minutes and 7 seconds into overtime for the U.S. as they beat Canada 2-1 and take the gold medal. Here's how it sounded on NBC.
The outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move, cuts to the net, score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero, United States, wins gold in Milan.
Hillary Knight tied the game at 1 with 2:04 left to play in regulation, which sent it to overtime, and then Keller did the rest. It becomes the third gold medal for the U.S. women and first since 2018. Today, the U.S. men's hockey team is back in action as they take on Slovakia in the semifinal, which starts at 2:10 p.m. Central Time. In NFL news, the Commanders will release Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback, ahead of the new league year, which clears an additional $18.5 million in cap space. Washington traded 2025 draft pick to the Saints last year for Lattimore. Coming up on Saturday, Nashville SC returns to the pitch for the start of the MLS season as they host New England Revolution at Geodis Park with a 7:30 p.m. first kick. You can hear the match right here on 104.5 The Zone with Will Bowling on the call. Coverage starting at 7 o'clock. Also in men's college hoops tomorrow afternoon, Tennessee comes to town to face number 19 Vanderbilt at Memorial Gym here in Nashville with the 1 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game right here on 104.5 The Zone as well. Coverage for that one starts at 12:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go to hour number 2 of your Friday morning. Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone and Zone TV. Glad you're with us.
Yeah, we are.
Brent Hubs of VolQuest will stop by in 15 minutes ahead of Tennessee Vanderbilt tomorrow in Memorial Gym. Ahead of a Joey Aguilar decision we are still waiting on. 615-737-1045 is the number if you would like to jump in. As Ramon, we head into hour 2.
Yeah, we do. That was a quick first hour, by the way, as well. We got Hubs coming on. I'm always excited to have the conversation with him. This ruling from the judge. It's Friday. Come on, big dog. Like,
give me that Friday news dump. Let's go.
Give me that Friday news.
Let's go.
I'm not talking about at 3 o'clock. We need this, Will, by 9 Central. Like most, as I always say, most adults are up by now. A judge, he's up by now. Let's go and get this thing going.
It's 8 a.m. in Knoxville.
That's what I'm saying. Joey's got a big week to plan for as well. Like, consider this, Judge. Like, the sooner he know, the quicker he can get his hotel, get his schedule down for next week as far as the combine goes. He might even run into Will Bowling out there, man. Like, we need these answers. Judge, come on now.
A.J. Brown always gives answers, doesn't he?
I love when AJ speaks.
So AJ on the Dudes on Dudes podcast with Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski.
What a show.
Former Super Bowl winners with the New England Patriots. A long-ranging conversation. And AJ Brown admitted that he used to hate Mike Vrabel. This was the former Titans wide receiver speaking this week.
So Vrabel is the type of coach he's going to call on you in the meetings. He's going to make sure that you're staying engaged, and he's going to go over the keys to victory of the week. And he's going to you better know him like to the back of your hand, right? And so I used to write in my notebook because at the time I didn't really like Vrabel. I didn't like him. I admit that he knows that. And so I used to write, I hate Vrabel, I hate Vrabel, I hate Vrabel, right? But I was doing that to pretend like I was right. I was taking notes to look like I was engaged, but because he was so hard on me when I was a rookie and I didn't really understand it. And so it was at the time I told Vrabel, I was like, hey, like I'm humble already. You don't got to humble me. But I really didn't understand what he was trying to, push me to be. And another little quick thing, he showed a clip. I ran like a bang 8 and I scored and he praised me. And so I was kind of feeling good about myself, right? I'm a rookie. And a couple of plays later, he showed me another play with the bang 8 and I get tackled. And he's like, what's the difference between the first play and the second play? And he was like, you're tired. He was like, that's not going to cut it, And he was like, that same mentality, what you show in the first play, you should do that all the time. That's who you are. Like this right here, that's not going to cut it. And so, but when I say he holds every single player accountable from top to bottom, I don't care who it is, like that's who he is. And it makes the team come together because nobody's bigger than the team. Nobody's bigger than the program. So you have to respect it.
That's A.J. Brown, former Titans wide receiver, speaking on the Dudes on Dudes podcast with Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski. Did you know players who hated the coach like that?
Absolutely.
Love-hate relationship.
My freshman year, I hated my position offensive line coach like that. Larry Zerline. He was the meanest guy ever. Mind you, they're just off a Super Bowl as well. He's been in the league coaching for a very long time. They had a veteran group. And I'll never forget, like, same thing as A.J. speaking, but A.J. Brown was just speaking about, like, he was hard on me for whatever reason as well. And all the rookies in general. I never forget, we messed up on something. And he just railed us in front of the vets for no particular reason. He told me, he was like, you know how much you know? You know zero. And then he goes to the guy that was drafted, Craig Urban. He's saying, Craig, you know even less than that. But he was creating a mindset that you guys, you rookies, and the same as Vrabel's doing with AJ, you're not like them. And in order for you to be good, this is the standard that you need to have. And AJ, it seems to me, has figured that out, even though he's going through a lot right now with Philly. But, like, the version that AJ turned into is what Vrabel, I feel like, saw. And coaches, man, I tell young guys, you much rather coach be talking to you than not even acknowledging you. Mm-hmm. That's when you should get nervous. So AJ was young and probably full of himself at that point in time. You ever look back at yourself and was like, I was so dumb?
Yeah, all the time.
That's what it is.
I look back at things I say last week most of the time and say, well, that was dumb.
That was dumb.
100%.
Coach Former was like that. He was no credit given. He just tapped you on your shoulder or show a clip but wouldn't say it's that good. It was God. Having coaches like that, I treasure. My high school coach was the exact same way, and Coach Tomlin was as well. He'd embarrass you, but what it also gives you as well is it starts to build a relationship when you start to figure out why they're doing what they're doing. And then it also still gives transparency as well. I do think that's one of the things that looking at this coaching staff, this team needs now, the Titans. And it seems to me that's like what Robert Saleh's calling card is going to be, as well as hearing other guys speak of him before he even got to Nashville. So those types of dudes, like, I know people are going to be like, those are alphas. Like, no, those are dudes that understand people. Like, that's what you're asking of your coaches.
Got to be able to do both.
You got to be able to do both.
No doubt.
AJ's right now, I hate Vrabel. I ain't ever went that far. I've never gone that far. I've have some thoughts and like, man, I hope he gets fired next year, but never, I hate him. Was he like Bart Simpson?
Yeah. So Tim McManus of ESPN covering the Philadelphia Eagles, along with a number of ESPN writers, gave potential landing spots for A.J. Brown this offseason. And as Tim McManus writes, video surfaced of A.J. Brown calling his situation a bleep show in November. He made his dissatisfaction known on several occasions before acquiescing to CEO Jeffrey Lurie's request to tone down his public airings of grievances. McManus writes at ESPN.com, the front office knows how vital A.J. Brown has been to the Eagles' success, but it must determine whether he'll commit to the operation and be aligned with quarterback Jalen Hurts moving forward. They would absorb a dead cap hit of over $40 million if they deal him prior to June 1st, compared to less than $20 million in dead cap if a trade is made after that date. His cap hit is $23.4 million. 4 hypothetical offers and landing spots from ESPN writers, Ramon. Jeremy Fowler, on behalf of the Browns, offers their first-round pick at pick 24.
Browns.
Straight up.
Wow.
It would be Brown on the Browns. A.J. Brown playing on the Browns with the number 24 overall pick. Dan Graziano, hypothetical trade. Buffalo Bills offer pick 26 to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Baltimore Ravens, through Ben Solak, his hypothetical offer, a 2027 second, a 2027 fourth, which could turn into a third, and Rashad Bateman. And for the New England Patriots, of course, a 2026 first, pick number 31, a 2026 third-round pick, and a 2026 sixth for A.J. Brown and a second from the Eagles. What's the best potential landing spot? And do you think that there is a deal to be done here for A.J. Brown?
I most definitely think there's going to be a deal. Now, the issue that you're going to run into is how are you going to be able to deal with Howie Roseman and feel like you're not getting got? I know it's just a whole public thing that he's always trying to one-up somebody. The deal that seems to make sense to me is the New England one and the Buffalo one. Buffalo's needs it in the worst way. They need a premier wide receiver.
Right.
I feel like they should be aggressive enough, and I would also say New England because they're still on their rookie contract as well. Those two make the most sense to me of the teams mentioned. I wouldn't think their relationship is so bad that they would want to send him to Cleveland. I doubt AJ would want to go to the Cleveland Browns as well. No quarterback. That guy's trying to get Hall of Fame numbers right now.
And honestly, I feel like knowing Howie Roseman the way that we do and the moves that he's made, I wouldn't be surprised if that made the Browns the number one place for him to go. Especially if it's just for their second first-round pick with pick 24. Yeah. I could see Howie Roseman just washing his hands of it and saying, fine. You want to put up with you don't want to put up with bad quarterback play? Why don't you go there and see how bad their quarterback play really is?
Too. That's true, too.
I mean, he's definitely not going anywhere in the NFC. To me, if I'm Howie Roseman, Ramon, I don't know if I want to make a contender better in the process. Like, New England makes the most sense, but New England, I think, is going to have to overpay, and so will Buffalo and Baltimore. Like, I think all three of those teams are going to have to spend more versus Cleveland, who can sit there and, let's face it, is never going to have A.J. Brown play a meaningful game against the Eagles.
Can you imagine
for the rest of his career?
How insane he would be in Cleveland with the lack of quarterbs that they have? They're
not less media attention, but yeah.
I mean, the lack of proven quarterbacks, I guess. That's tough for AJ.
He could be reunited with old friend Malik Willis.
This is very true. In Miami?
Could be. Well, I don't know. Actually, they didn't overlap here, did they? No, they didn't.
No, they did not.
Never overlapped here. So he could be reunited if Malik gets signed to Cleveland with near almost former friend.
The football decision is Buffalo definitely need. To your point, they need to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And of course, New England, but I'm with you. Like, you're setting New England up for dynasty if you send AJ there.
Big time.
Yeah, that's tough.
Coming up next, VolQuest's Brent Hubs joins us. We've got a court case ongoing with Joey Aguilar. We've got Tennessee and Vanderbilt to preview. Lots to discuss on our weekly visit with our Vols insider on Fridays, Brent Hubs, after this. Friday morning continues on Ramon and Will. A beautiful sunny morning in Nashville. Alongside Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins, our producer. Pleased to be joined by VolQuest's Brent Hubs on the eve of part 1 of Tennessee and Vanderbilt on a day where we still don't have a decision on Joey Aguilar. Lots to get into, as always. Brent, good morning. How are you?
Morning, Hubs.
Good morning, guys. Hope you guys are doing well on this Friday.
Absolutely.
We're doing all right, Brent. And I know for many in the state of Tennessee, and especially in East Tennessee, it is a heavy and a hard day. And we felt like it was right, Brent, to start off with the news of Wes Rucker's passing yesterday in a car accident on I-40 and just gone entirely too soon, Brent. I know this is a journalist you had worked alongside on the Tennessee media corps, someone you've known for a long time. I just wanted to give you the chance to remember him, Brent, and really just react to what was a really, really horrible breaking news story yesterday.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. And, I had the pleasure of knowing Wes when he was a student worker at the Daily Beacon, and he got his first, quote, big boy job, as he liked to say, for the Chattanooga Times Free Press. And, he was unabashful, and he was young, and he was energetic, and I was a little bit older, but I was cocky, and we butted our heads many a times, and we just laughed about him the last decade plus of different things that we would both look at each other and go, man, can you believe that, like, that bothered me, or it bothered you, or whatever? I mean, it was just over the dumbest things. And, Wes was one of one, and he loved to debate. He loved to discuss. He loved being a journalist, but those all paled in comparison for the love that he had to be a dad and to be a husband. And, he chose to make his private life very public through social media and different things he did. And anybody who followed him has no question just how important it was in his life to not just be a dad, but to be a great dad. And Hank was his world, and, he was Hank's hero. And I just hurt for Lauren, his wife, and his 4-year-old son, and they've got a daughter on the way later this spring. And if you believe in prayer and you're about prayer, I just ask that at some point today you take a minute and just pray for them in the coming days, weeks, and months, because it's just a tragic deal. And it's just life is precious, and we have no idea why or when. And again, he was a journalist that loved to debate and stir up with people, but at the end of the day, he had one priority or two priorities, and that was to be a great dad and to be a great husband.
Hubs, man, it's fascinating you bring it up as well, and like the Daily Beacon side of it, man. I think so many people look at the finished product of sports reporters or people that's doing their jobs and just think, oh, man, you just got here. Like, no, he was on the beat early, man. I think it's just a testament to him passing right now and the amount of people that are shocked, sympathetic to it, and sending their prayers to him, because he's been in the industry, Hubs, for a long time, and it's a grind with what he's built up with the reputation that he has right now, and I don't think people understand how long it could take.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing about that, Wes made it a decision that he was going to plow deep into Twitter, and was really going to kind of brand himself through social media and through Twitter. And he was kind of the first to do it. And again, I mean, if you were in a room with Wes, you knew Wes was in the room. and I mean that in the most complimentary way in the world. He would gladly participate in any conversation, and he would gladly start any conversation he could start, because he loved a debate, he loved a discussion. And again, I mean, he was a guy that just went about his business, the right way, did things the right way. And my biggest thing with Wes and our conversations, the last 4 years, maybe even before then, did not have a lot to do with what's going on with the Vols. We didn't discuss a lot of breakdowns and plays and everything, but before press conference, after press conference, on a game day when I had a chance to bump into him, it was a quick discussion about how Hank was doing and, how his wife was doing and how life was going for them, because that was the most important thing to him.
Absolutely. Well said. A very sad day, and our prayers go out to the Rucker family. Wes Rucker passed away yesterday and just gone far too soon. Brent, it does feel like one of those mornings where it just feels so trivial and so shallow to talk sports. But we are going to transition to that and continue as Wes would to do the job and break down all things Vols, as we do with you every Friday morning. And starting, Brent, with, again, the court case we're still waiting on a decision on regarding Joey Aguilar. Judge Chris Haggerty working through all the documents. Ramon has made a request that this be released during 6 to 10 a.m. Central. I don't know if he's going to get that request granted, Brent, considering, I don't know, is this a prime Friday news dump potential here today for Joey Aguilar?
I don't think anything's coming today. And Chris Haggerty, the judge, made it clear he was going to work through it in as quick a fashion as he could work through it. But he also noted that he had, thousands of documents to go through, in addition to going and reviewing all of his notes that he took from the bench while both sides were making their opening remarks and closing remarks. And, he's going to take this very seriously. I don't think he's going to drag it out forever, but I would be surprised if we get a Friday afternoon news dump on it at this point. I mean, I think that, maybe next week, and again, it could come this afternoon, but I would be surprised if that were the case. So we'll see. In the meantime, Joey Aguilar continues to rehab. He will go to the combine. He will do the early part of the combine where they do some of the cognitive tests and measurements, and he'll visit with some NFL folks up there. And I think part of that is that's what Joey needs to do to be ready in case he doesn't win. I think it's also a public thing for them to make that known, to try to remind Chris Haggerty that, hey, man, like, this can't drag on forever. We've got to know something as well. So we'll see. Maybe early next week if it doesn't come this afternoon. And again, nobody's telling me it's going to come this afternoon. So maybe we get to it next week and we move on from there, one way or the other. I mentioned this in the War Room. There was a case in Nevada involving a baseball player who was granted an injunction. He was granted a TRO, and then he was granted an injunction late Friday, a week ago, right after the Joey Aguilar court case came to a close, after they finished in court. I'm sure those are documents that Joey's team submitted to Chris Haggerty to say, hey, you were talking about precedent. Where are these things with 5 years of eligibility at the NCAA level and all these different things? Here's an example of it as well. So just more things for Chris Haggerty to sort through as he tries to work towards this decision.
Brent, I thought it was interesting when Austin was on with us Tuesday. He made the comment, it felt maybe like 90-10 going into it, and then leaving the courtroom, it felt more like a coin flip. But do you share that opinion of just the process of the way this has kind of maybe changed, and the momentum hasn't been as much on Joey's side? And if so, Brent, when did maybe within this case and within the arguments things kind of shift a little bit?
Well, I don't know that it was ever 90-10, and I'm not disagreeing with Austin.
Sure.
I think the perception of it was 90-10
right,
because, it was a Tennessee judge at the local level who's a Vol fan. It was in Knox County Court. This was, on the surface when you looked at it, the thought process was this was set up for Joey to win, much the way it was in Oxford, Mississippi with Trinidad Chambliss. Nobody thought Trinidad Chambliss was going to lose that case. The NCAA actually noted in some court documents that their concern was that the court bled orange in Knoxville. And so the perception of it coming in was that this was going to be a laydown. I don't think that's a fair perception, but it's an easy perception to make, right? You pull yourself out of a case in Nashville and you take it into Knox County Court, and you're in front of a judge who's got 2 Tennessee degrees, and everything just looks like it's set up for Tennessee, right? And so I think that's where the perception of it came. So I don't know that it changed in reality. What changed for me was just the detail in which Chris Haggerty was asking questions to both sides in the 2 hours we were in the courtroom. And I was anticipating both sides to make a lengthy opening remark. Chris Haggerty might ask a couple of follow-up questions after their opening remarks, closing remark. We're not going to have any witnesses, and we'll be done. And in both the NCAA's opening remarks and in Joey's defense's team's opening remarks, 3 minutes into it, Chris Haggerty was asking questions, and he asked a lot of questions. He was very prepared for his questions. He asked a lot of follow-up questions based on answers he was given in that moment. And so the feeling of it was different because you realize very quickly this was not a lay down, and it was never going to be a lay down. I just think the perception of it coming in by many, because it was in Knox County, was that it would be a lay down.
No doubt about it. Hubs, when you look at the NCAA lawyer's perspective, who's also a Tennessee alum and season ticket holder as well, I thought one of the more damning things that he said was, we're Tennessee. We don't have to do this. Can I ask you a question? Do you think he really feels like this, or this is the NCAA side of it? Because there's balance to him saying that, because in the spring it's fine. But, in the fall, we get emotional about wins and losses.
I thought, and I don't know Taylor Askew. I don't know the lawyer who's representing the NCAA there. I know that was his third case of the week that he was trying, which I'm sure was a taxing week for him to try to get ready for all of them. I was surprised at two things, Ramon. One, I was surprised he kind of inserted himself from a fan standpoint. At one point, he turned to Joey Aguilar and talked about how much his kids just thought he was a hero, and he thanked him for what he had done for Tennessee. And then he turned back and just said, no offense to Joey Aguilar, but Tennessee's better than this. And, trying to suggest like Tennessee was not cheating, but I guess, the implication that Tennessee was, trying to bend the rules, and I guess is what he was making. I was just a little surprised that at that moment he made it personal. I'm not sure the NCAA would have really wanted him to do that. I just thought it was a little bit of a bizarre kind of twist in the deal, because, he had made his case and points of law on behalf of the NCAA about why there should be no change here and why Joey Aguilar's eligibility was exhausted. And then he turned like almost to say to Tennessee fans, hey, don't hate me. Don't be mad at me. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do because we all love Joey. And then he flipped and said, but Tennessee's better than this. It was a bizarre moment from him just inserting personal things into the courtroom the way he did.
Well, Hubs, if it doesn't go Joey Aguilar's way, the plan goes to George McIntyre and Faison Brandon. The question I have, I guess the guy that's been in the chicken house the longest is George McIntyre. Hubs, we sit on two opposite ends of the spectrum, okay? If we were on seesaws, you'd never go down to the ground, okay? Like, I never had a problem, okay, putting on and holding weight, all right? You on the other side, man, you physically fit. You out here, can buy off the rack, Hubs. You know what I'm saying? What does a guy like George have to do to remove those questions, man? And will you ever see him Big Ben Roethlisberger size, or do you just want him 215? Like, what are you asking for the slight people out there, Hubs?
Well, I thank you for the PTSD this morning, because in elementary school, I ran from the seesaw because
I'm with you.
It took 4 of my friends to get me down off the seesaw, because inevitably when I got on the seesaw with someone remotely close to my weight, I looked up and Billy over there just decided he would take over the seesaw and leave me suspended in the air for the rest of recess. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that this morning, Ramon. My therapist and I will be in conversation at lunchtime.
We need a little laugh this morning, Hub. You know I'm going to bring a good vibe, man.
Thanks, I love it. Thanks. The 6-year-old me really appreciates that. I'm not scarred from the second grade at all, Ramon. So to answer your question, I don't think I think to look like Ben Roethlisberger, George might have to weigh 250, 55 pounds. Okay, I don't, because Ben probably weighed that himself, but I don't think George. I don't know that George can ever get there. I think at 215, George would look skinny. Wow. Okay, but But he's 6'7". I mean, and so what George has to do is George has to get the number up, not to make him look, quote, beefy. He just has to do it to be able to protect himself better. And he's working at it. I mean, he is. And it's one of those things where it's hard for him to gain weight. He really has to work at it. He really has to be focused on it. He is a personal – Derek Owens is personal with everybody. He knows everybody's story already. But George McIntyre is going to know Derek Owens really, really well throughout this entire offseason, and he's not mad about it. So they've had George tested for everything under the sun, food allergies and everything else, to try to look at him and make sure that there's nothing else going on that's been a problem for him to gain any weight and all those things. So, you just keep fighting it. You just keep working at it every day. He's put on weight since he's been here. He's probably up 5 pounds or so over the course of Derek Owens' arrival. And what you hope is that 5 becomes 10 and 10 becomes 20 between now and August. And that's what you're trying to do and where you're trying to get to. So I don't know what his body makeup is that prevents him from gaining weight, but that's something they're certainly continuing to explore as he works as hard as he can to add pounds, just to create some stability and durability for him.
Brent Hubs of VolQuest, our guest this morning for his weekly visit here on Ramon and Will's. Shifting gears to the hardwood, Brent, as the Vols head here to take on Vanderbilt in Memorial Gym tomorrow. What is the concern level on JP Estrella's left foot injury, and what do you think the X-factor matchup is in this game tomorrow?
Well, the concern factor is real. I mean, it's just they've done all the testing and they haven't found anything there, but he's dealing with soreness in a foot that cost him, the end of last year, and that's always a concern in basketball when you're dealing with a sore foot there, and you had a stress fracture situation a year ago. So they will be cautious, even though this game's really important. I think they will be mindful and cautious to try to be smart about it and manage him the best that they can manage him here, because obviously in the postseason that they've got to have him on the floor. In terms of an X factor, if JP cannot go or is on a minute count or is limited, Jalen Carey's got to show, and he's got to finish better at the rim. And, I think Dwayne Brown's got to continue to show up. I think the most encouraging thing out of Wednesday night's game was we saw the return of Felix Okpara, and Felix played much better and was much more of a factor on the offensive end, and maybe that got Felix's mojo going back a little bit. And Felix doesn't have to make 5 jump shots, right? I mean, it's just put back layups, it's dunks, it's lobs, catch the ball cleanly, finish. Make your free throws. I mean, that's all they're asking. I know that seems like a lot, but that's all they're really asking of Felix to do. And he did that well against an undersized team in Oklahoma. And it'll be a different challenge with Vanderbilt, although Vanderbilt's going to play a lot of 5 out. Felix got to stay out of foul trouble. And, they feel like Felix can switch everything on the perimeter and still guard. He's going to have to go well without getting into early foul trouble, because he's probably, at the end of the day, no offense to Jalen Carey, he's probably the biggest X factor, because when they have a post guy going, okay, then they're a different basketball team. And Felix, if he can score 8-10 points a game, he can be their most complete post guy because of his rim protection. He is the best rim protector they have defensively. So he's going to have to play well and needs to play well down the stretch here for Tennessee.
Hubs, you might have to spend a little overtime with your therapist and actually see if
Are we going again, Ramon?
I'm coming with you, okay? We're not a couple, but we're real good friends. And I feel like we need to go
feel it this morning. I really
together on this one. Because here, I'll even pay for this session, okay? What I'm telling you is this. Talk me off the ledge when it comes to Kim Caldwell and these Lady Vols.
I knew this was coming.
I just, 2 bad ones, the hurry-up handshake against Ole Miss, and then lost to one of the worst SEC, respectfully, baddest SEC teams last night in A&M at home. Hubs, what we got going on?
Well, you got to defend. And let's take the CEO part out of Kim Caldwell, where clearly she has to continue to mature as a coach.
Gotcha.
And that's the handshake line. That's some of the things she says publicly. That's some of her body language and press conferences and all those things. Let's take all that out of the equation right now, okay? And that's a part she's got to evolve and grow and develop as a coach there. But let's go into the world of on the court, the right now. And the problem for this team right now is their half-court defense is just not non-existent. I mean, teams are shooting, I think in their last 6 losses, teams are shooting 46% or better against her teams. I think 4 of those teams have shot 50% or better. Texas A&M missed 2 shots in the first quarter. Last night they shot 80-something% in the first 10 minutes of the game and finished at 56% for the game. But when Kim Caldwell's team had their best week on the court, they beat Alabama at Alabama, and they beat Kentucky at home. They held both those teams to below 60 points. And their defense, their half-court defense, they were getting stops. They were rebounding the basketball. They were playing solid half-court defense. And, man, their half-court defense is non-existent right now. And when you look at the teams they're playing, an Oklahoma team on Sunday that is as good offensively as they are, you go to Baton Rouge to take on LSU, which everybody penciled in as a loss early in the year, even before any of this happened. Back when you're winning games, you're like, all right, back half the schedule's hard. Who goes to Baton Rouge and wins aside from South Carolina, right? And Kentucky did in an upset early in the year. But the point is LSU doesn't lose a lot at home. And then you got Vanderbilt to close it out, which is a good offensive team with an elite scorer who can get downhill. I know the concerns and the frustrations with this team offensively, and the fact that sometimes they're a no-pass possession, they're a one-pass possession, and all those are valid. All those concerns are valid. There are things they have to do better offensively. They got to reverse the ball. All the things Ron Slay knows a lot more than I know. But at the end of the day, for them to have a chance, they're going to have to learn to sit down and guard in the half court. Right. They got to keep the ball in front of them. They can't foul. They got to finish plays. They got to get back in transition defense and get set up in a half-court defense. That's, to me, where they have to improve immediately. There'll be some nights where they make some shots, and there'll be some things where maybe they can survive offensively and get hot and do some different stuff. But to have a chance to win consistently down the stretch here and do anything in the postseason, they have got to learn to sit down and guard and keep the ball in front of them, something that they are struggling mightily with right now, Ramon.
Brent Hubs of VolQuest joins us Fridays at 7:20 here on the show. Check out the War Room at volquest.com each and every Friday as well. Always appreciate the time, Brent. Thanks so much.
No doubt, Hubs. I'll cash app you the fees for that session right there.
I'm just waiting for Slay to text in and want to have a mediation point with us to explain basketball to both of us, right?
No doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend, man.
Yes, sir. You too. Brent Hubs with us, presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. The best.
No
Brent
doubt.
Hubs. Coming up, Olympic Minute. Hey, U.S. women's hockey was absolutely electric yesterday. If you want to care about U.S. men's hockey, I'll give you a little 60-second primer on USA Slovakia to get ready for today as well, coming up next. A masterpiece from Kenny Albert on the call for NBC's coverage of gold medal women's hockey. USA 2, Canada 1 in overtime. Hillary Knight tied it. Megan Keller won it. It was awesome. Ramon.
In the 11th hour as well, right? Being able to close this out. Hey, and I got the song right, and I listened to it yesterday, and it's called Free Bird by Leonard Skinner. Take that.
So proud of you.
Great learner over here,
Really
okay? And I know hockey as well. USA, take that with you. Zeph.
Perfect 7-0 run for the U.S. women through the tournament, and it was not looking good for this entire game. Canada's goalie was standing on her head. 54 seconds into the second period, Kristen O'Neill scored shorthanded. That ended an American shutout streak of 352 minutes and 17 seconds. And it wasn't until the U.S. emptied the net and Hillary Knight scored it. Hillary Knight becomes the all-time leading American scorer in women's hockey history at the Olympics with that. And then Megan Keller plays for the Boston team in the PWHL, gets the win. Man, it was awesome. It was so awesome. U.S. women's hockey is really having a moment. It's their third gold medal. They won in 2018 as well. They lost in 2022. But they played a rivalry series last fall where they played 4 games against Canada, and they crushed them in all 4 games. And it felt like a big changing of the guard moment. In their last 18 games against top competition, the U.S. has beaten opponents 84-15.
Yeah, we did.
And outscored teams 33-2 at the Olympic Games. That is an iconic moment in women's hockey, which is kind of having a moment right now as well with the PWHL starting to grow a little bit. And I think it's going to take off even more after this because so many of those U.S. and Canadian players are teammates when they play for their professional teams.
That's good stuff, man. I was just glad to see them close it out. And like, how dramatic can you get?
I mean, it was cinema.
Yeah, how dramatic could you get with how that unfolded, man? Goodness. I'm just glad they were able to close out because I did think, and everybody thought as well, like they were the best team.
No question.
I'm not sure if you saw it in totality or Hawk did. How was it that close? What weren't they doing?
Yeah, the Canadian netminder was outstanding.
Okay.
I just couldn't get past her.
It was a good defensive game.
It was.
It was very, like, balls to the wall, just very intense between each side.
Opposite.
Pucks to the wall.
Pucks to the wall.
Sure.
It was none.
It was really good. It was very intense. It was very intense.
It was
and then
very
it ended in dramatic fashion, which was only fitting for these two teams who, obviously, their history is the rivalry.
To the novice watcher of women's hockey in general, what did Canada do to slip up? If they were that tight to the end.
Well, just empty net.
Empty net.
You throw another number out there and you get an additional ability to screen up front. Layla Edwards with the assist.
Yeah.
Who had the shot from the point, and Hillary Knight deflected it in, and that's that.
Good stuff. And going to 3-on-3 play.
I mean, that deke, though, for Megan Keller
my goodness.
to win it, like that is an unbelievably, like, filthy way to win a gold
Through the
medal.
legs, backhander.
That's what you dream about when you're skating as a kid, of like, it passes it to Keller, through the legs, shot, score! Like that's it. It's the equivalent of on the driveway and 3, 2, 1, shot at the buzzer. And then the ball would not go in, at least for me, because I missed the shot. Be like, oh, but magically they put a second back on the clock. He rebounds it, he gets it back, shoots. Misses. Oh, but there was a foul, and they're going to put him back on there. All right, free throw. Here we go. Like that.
That's like the epitome of childhood right there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's
100%.
awesome stuff right there.
USA figure skater Alyssa Liu with a fantastic routine, winning in dramatic gold medal fashion as well in day 13 of the games. The first gold medal since 2002 and the first medal of any kind since 2006 for an American woman in figure skating. Alyssa Liu. Shout out. Don't know what I'm watching. It all looks really cool. It all looks like it would really, 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 really hurt my joints and muscles. But I'll just sit there like,
I
just
watch
golf
them
clap.
hit the ground and spin, like when they hit their little twirls and
like, how are you not dizzy?
Why didn't you fall? Like, those are the questions I have.
To that question, have you ever watched Traders?
Traders?
No spoilers.
Okay, well,
No spoilers.
You know Johnny, the figure skater.
Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski, both of them, yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking on the episode last night. I'm not going to give anything away, but he was talking about being dizzy when you're spinning in the air like that. You cross your eyes to counteract it. Right. He said it really helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a learned trait. I guess
I had no idea.
He said if you keep your eyes straight or you close your eyes, you'll get pretty dizzy. But if you cross your eyes to kind of counteract that
Trick in the
spinning
brain.
motion,
Okay.
then your eyes and your brain will play a trick on itself to say you're not. It's crazy.
All right.
Learned that last night.
Insight, Hawk.
Okay, good to know.
Thank you.
We always watch Traders on Fridays.
Oh.
So when I spin
In the
Keisha
week.
around like that, with
I
my
immediately
arms,
messaged Bert after the show last night, and we had like an hour.
Was it a good episode?
Oh.
Okay, good.
One more. There's finale next
What's the
week.
name
I
of
know.
this?
The Traders. Oh, you would
on
love the Traders on
Netflix?
Peacock.
Peacock.
Appreciate your efforts on your account too, by the way.
Which one are you using? I feel like I have so many passwords out there with friends. You're using my Paramount
I'm
Plus.
using Paramount Plus, which I check my YouTube TV. I have Paramount. I
Do you have
got to
Paramount
call
Plus?
them.
You may have Paramount, but that doesn't mean you have
There's
Paramount
a difference
Plus.
in the Plus.
Yeah, there is. That's what I used to watch
Why
the
are
Champions
they
League.
this way? Why are
Which
they this way?
Arsenal's kind of a sore subject right
Thank
now,
you for your
considering
efforts.
the events of this week.
Don't even mention it, man.
USA versus Slovakia today. Slovakia, kind of the Cinderella of the men's hockey tournament. A team with only 7 NHL players, but they beat Finland 4-1 in the prelims. Matthew Tkachuk said the other day they're playing out of their minds right now, playing absolutely incredible. They've had a really tough bracket, the toughest bracket, and they came out on top of it. And they are a proud hockey nation. They love hockey. Slovakia won the 2002 Men's World Championship. They also won silver at 2000 and bronze in 2003. They've got a goalie that plays in the AHL for Iowa who is just having a run right now. And that's in any level of hockey. If you are a Cinderella team, odds are you've got a goaltender that's playing out of his mind, and theirs is.
Okay.
So certainly far from a guarantee. And Zeph, Joseph Bonanno, I hope your Canadians win. I hope they beat Finland.
Yes.
Because I want to stick the knife in your back
I'm
ourselves.
telling you.
I want the free bird to step on the Canadian goose's neck ourselves.
up.
I don't want Finland to do it for us.
Yes.
I want to beat you
absolutely.
ourselves.
I do too. Send you right up north, Joseph.
Coming up, 615-737-1045. Back to NFL discussion. Is Malik Willis going to be a good starting quarterback in the NFL? What does recent history say about quarterbacks with minimal experience getting paid? Spoiler alert, it's not great. Coming up next.
8:02, good morning, live from the Circus Sports of the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. The final offensive coordinator vacancy in the NFL is now filled, per Adam Schefter this morning. The Rams are promoting pass game coordinator Nate Scheelhaase to offensive coordinator. Scheelhaase has interviewed for 5 head coaching jobs during this hiring cycle this offseason, but is now the logical fit in L.A., replacing Mike LaFleur. In Winter Olympics yesterday, Megan Keller becomes the American hero, scoring 4 minutes and 7 seconds into overtime, and the U.S. women's hockey team takes the gold medal, beating Canada 2-1. Hillary Knight tied the game at 1 with 2:04 left to play in regulation, and then Keller did the rest. It marks the 3rd gold medal for the U.S. women's team, and first since 2018. Today, coming up, the U.S. men's hockey team takes the ice as they take on Slovakia in the semifinals with puck drop at 2:10 p.m. Central Time. And coming up tomorrow, on Saturday night, Nashville SC, they take the pitch for the start of the MLS season as they host New England Revolution with a 7:30 p.m. first kick. You can hear the match right here on 104.5 The Zone. Will Bowling's got the call for it. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock. Also, men's college hoops tomorrow afternoon. Tennessee comes to town to face number 19 Vanderbilt here in Nashville at Memorial Gym with the 1 p.m. tip-off. You can hear the game right here on 104.5 The Zone as well. Coverage starting for that one is at 12:30. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
One week away from the NFL Combine, I am fascinated by the process of what we affectionately call the underwear Olympics of the NFL. Now, maybe you're like me and you want to know what it's like being in those meetings, what it's like going through the drills, what it's like preparing to kind of play football, but also not really. Well, Ramon Foster takes us through that journey here in about 15 minutes. I love talking about this. Ramon, we do it every season. It is the intersection of two things that I love, college football and NFL football. And I'm really fascinated to learn more about what stands out to you, what you appreciated, what you didn't like, what you regret, what you maybe felt confident in about your NFL Combine experience. We'll dive into in 15 minutes.
Gotcha. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's a little the same as Hubs with the seesaw. When we had the conversation with him, Brent Hubs, I have PTSD about the Combine.
Sure.
I just do.
I get it.
We'll talk about it.
I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas Clausen of CBS Sports says Malik Willis is an NFL free agency lottery ticket. Writing about him at CBSSports.com this week, and who is the potentially one of the highest paid free agents on the market this offseason. A strong and far departure from what he was when he was a backup quarterback for the Titans. Douglas Clausen writes at CBS, the talented quarterback played like Jamarcus Russell in his brief time with the Titans and now has transformed into Lamar Jackson in limited action with the Packers over 2 seasons. Now he's set to become a free agent in an offseason lacking attractive options via free agency, trade, and the draft. Ramon, is it realistic to say Malik Willis is about to make $30 million a year to play quarterback for somebody?
Very realistic. To your point, the market has reshifted. Like, if we go back to 2010, this 20 would probably be like, or this 30 would probably be like a $10 million, $12 million, $15 million deal, which would be sufficient for a guy in his ilk. The cap is why his number's so high. Malik is about to get 30 plus M's. Plus M's.
So he was traded to the Packers from the Titans for a 7th-round pick in August of 2024.
Right.
He led all players in yards per attempt and yards per rush in starts over the last 2 seasons with a minimum of 20 attempts on each stat. In Week 17 against Baltimore, Malik Willis became the first quarterback since Michael Vick in 2002 with 100 pass yards, a pass touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and 0 incompletions in a first half. He threw 89 passes, Ramon, in a Green Bay Packers uniform. He completed 79% of them. Now, that's not a lot of passes. However, as Douglas Clausen writes at CBSSports.com, that is still a better completion rate in any span of 89 throws in the entire career of Aaron Rodgers. Okay? So, yeah, it's a small sample size. It's also a terrific quarterbacking display in that small sample size. But outside of the comfort of playing behind the Packers offensive line
good.
And the expertise of being coached and having plays called by Matt LaFleur, Ramon, how do you think Malik Willis is going to fare at a new destination?
He is way too little for me watching him. They're going to pay him for the projection and hope. That's the way I look at this situation for Malik. I went and looked at a guy I thought was very similar to what a pathway in which he's done that Malik is going to identically in an identical fashion, and that is Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor, same situation, spent his first 4 years in Baltimore, not a whole lot of hay. Then he goes to Buffalo. Gets to Buffalo, have a decent 2015, end up getting Pro Bowl, and I think in 16 he ended up getting, in that era, according to Spot Track, his deal in 2016 ended up being $9.5 million, the equivalent of what Malik is getting right now. So, in that time that Tyrod
crazy.
Taylor,
it's changed that much in 10 years, by the way.
No. But Tyrod Taylor's been an item in his league. So as a starter, he goes 7-6, 7-8, 8-6, 1-1-1 in that era of moving to the next phase. Now, that was one more year in Buffalo, 2 years in Buffalo, one in Cleveland, and he's become the journeyman that he is. This type of pathway and expectation for guys like Malik was such a small sample size that wasn't a high draft pick as well. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Sam? What about Daniel Jones? These questions are going to come up, and the thing that they have on him is a whole lot more volume and a whole higher level of execution. Even if you look at Daniel Jones and if you look at Sam Darnold as well, they've thrown more in this league. The other thing that Malik has to be cautious of, and as far as like chasing the dollars, what I would say is this, bro, go get it all. Whoever's going to give, take. If this $35 million, go get it, because this is your prime opportunity. But he needs to also recognize this as well. He needs bumpers.
He needs a lot of bumpers, and he needs the pink bowling ball.
That's what Green Bay is for him.
This needs to be a good situation for him. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to go well.
And that's kind of where I'm landing. Do I believe in his talent? Yes. Has he gotten better? Yes.
100%.
What is it taking for him to get good? And it was a strong defense, a good offensive line,
a good run game,
a great run game,
an experienced play caller.
And in Miami, this is all new to them. He's going 100%. From just being a part of it. That's the difference.
Right. To being the guy. When you make $30 million, you are the answer to the question.
He's Allen Iverson. Okay? You're the answer at this point.
If I'm Malik Willis, I desperately want to go to Pittsburgh for that reason. I want a proven play caller. I want as good of a situation as I can land in. He's got to get the right advice here, Ramon. If he goes to a place that doesn't have offensive line help, I don't think it's going to go well for him ever as a starter. His sack to pressure ratio is still the big red flag. I gave you all the positive stats. And for the people that'll comment and say, I'm a Malik Willis hater, I just gave you a lot of good and a lot of ammo to say that, like, the numbers speak for themselves. He's been excellent behind a really good offensive line with a proven play caller and with weapons to throw to and a good run game. Matt LaFleur called run plays 63% of the time when Malik Willis was in the game.
Okay.
I don't know how much you're going to get that once you're the guy making $30 million and all of a sudden you don't have Josh Jacobs to turn around and hand the ball off to, or you don't have an elite offensive line. And that to me is the thing. Malik Willis's issue here was running out of the back of the pocket at the first sign of trouble. And a lot of that has to do with the college system that he played. Now, you can learn how to get away from that to an extent, but like Hugh Freeze would have him at practice at Liberty. He'd point to a receiver and say, if that guy's open, throw it. If not, run. That's a really hard fight or flight method to unlearn and retrain in the National Football League, when also, by the way, everyone's faster and stronger and better. He was sacked on 24% of his pressures with the Packers. That is well above the NFL average. For perspective, Jordan Love was sacked 10% of the time that he was pressured.
Yeah.
That is a significant difference. An NFL low 30%, Ramon, of his attempts were over the middle in the past 2 seasons. 20% of his passes were over the middle and between 0 and 20 air yards. Only 4% of his passes were over the middle and between 11 and 20 yards.
No doubt.
They had a very specific system for him. Get the ball out quickly, a lot of screens, a lot of checkdowns, a lot of, if that's not their run, and he's an athlete, so he can make a lot of those plays. But what happens when the pocket breaks down quicker? And you don't have athletes that can turn checkdowns into bigger gains and take easier throws and make them more significant. He was 6 of 7 on deep throws against the Ravens. I know he can complete a deep ball as well, but I think paying Malik Willis $30 million is not a very smart decision if you are a franchise that needs him to elevate everyone else around you.
So it's twofold, I think, in the conversation we're having right now about Malik. One, I think a good bit of us are like happy for him that he's turned himself around.
Myself included.
Very much so. And it's phenomenal that he's having this opportunity to be considered a starting quarterback on his own team and getting paid whatever they're choosing to pay him.
It's a good comeback story that we don't get a ton of.
That right there is awesome.
Yeah.
What you're pointing out, and I think a lot of people won't see or discuss because free agency is super exciting. It's like Christmas. It's the buyer beware to the fan base.
Right.
Like
he's not coming there to save you.
And the reason I bring that up is guys that go this pathway, like legitimately have struggles. And one of those guys in particular, like I said, is looking at Tyrod Taylor's pathway. The reason I think we're happy for Malik is this part. One, he gets a real opportunity to go make a crap ton of money. And then if you look at Tyrod Taylor, like I told you, that 3-year span that he had with Buffalo before being shipped out to Cleveland, his pathway and career since then, Will, has been void of almost anything.
So I've got 5 examples here for you.
Go ahead.
The last 5 quarterbacks who didn't make a lot of starts in their rookie deal and then got a big payday. Tell me how many of these were successes. 2018, Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco. 5 years, $138 million after 7 career starts.
He got, not a success.
He made 67 career starts after that, but became a backup quarterback. 2017, Mike Glennon in Chicago. Made 18 starts before his big contract. He got 3 years, $45 million.
Get the hell out.
Mike Glennon in 2017. He made 13 more starts in his NFL career after getting that contract.
You're making me hate quarterbacks. Keep going.
In 2016, Brock Osweiler received a 4-year, $72 million contract from the Houston Texans. He made 7 starts before that deal. He made 23 starts in the rest of his NFL career after that. He is now on ESPN.
Doing nothing. Go ahead.
Tyrod Taylor, great example from you. 2016 is the best example of any of these. But even still, 5 years, $90 million, made 13 starts before that contract, made 62 starts after that. He became, Ramon, a backup quarterback. And then 2012, Matt Flynn in Seattle made 2 starts before receiving a 3-year, $20 million contract. Again, $7 million a year in 2012 was not an insignificant amount of money. Made 5 career starts after receiving a 3-year, $20 million contract.
You know what?
I can keep going. I have more examples.
It's all good. It's what you're paying for the quarterback. And again, I think I want to reiterate this as well. We're happy for what Malik is going to be able to do. He's going to walk in.
I'd love for him to continue proving me wrong.
Without a face mask on, okay? Without a ski mask on and take 30 a year. And anybody would be a fool to be like, no, I don't deserve it. No, he's going to go get it. But it is, to your point, the buyer's beware side of like, he needs a lot of bumpers around him. If he does go to Miami with Jeff Hafley, like he's got a defensive head coach, so the conservative side of the way they're going to run that team might be conducive to his success. That's the only thing I'll say. Usually defensive coaches run the football, protect the ball.
There are 2 quarterbacks that are hits out of this entire list. Matt Hasselbeck in 2001 had made no starts, got a 5-year, $24 million contract, went on to start 160 games. That one worked out great. Also 25 years ago. Matt Schaub in Houston is the other one. Only had 2 starts before he got a 6-year, $48 million contract in 2007. Went on to make 91 starts.
Talking about 20 years ago.
But then there's Kevin Cobb and Matt Castle and Matt Flynn and Brock Osweiler and Mike Glennon. History is against Malik Willis on this. I hope he proves it wrong. I'm a Malik fan. Malik is as good a guy as you're going to find in an NFL locker room. I want the best for him.
No doubt.
I know I'm a skeptic on his play, but as a human, I really do like the guy quite a bit. Hope he proves us wrong.
I do too.
Buyer beware. I do also still think that if he goes to the right situation, like if he ends up in Pittsburgh, I think he could be fine. You just don't expect him to be great, and don't expect him to be Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he's got to be a manager. The way I look at it, because he really hadn't had no opportunity to really grow in Green Bay as far as the entire game plan. And
there's a limited ceiling. Yeah,
exactly. Specifically, game planning for Malik.
Right. Coming up. What's it like being a prospect at the NFL Combine? We'll ask Ramon Foster that next.
It's Truck Month at Two Rivers Ford, everybody, and that means zero money down, zero financing, and zero payments for 90 days. But only at Two Rivers Ford do you get zero surprises and zero pressure as well. You see, Two Rivers Ford, they do things a little differently than most dealerships. For starters, they have a non-commissioned sales team, so their salespeople are paid whether you buy a truck or not. So go ahead and ask all the questions that you want. Take all the test drives, check out the F-150s, the Super Duties, the Mavericks, the Rangers. Truck Month, I'm telling you, it's all about you. And at Two Rivers Ford, you'll find real prices online every single time. They don't add a bunch of accessories or add-ons that you don't know about until you get to the dealerships. They pride themselves on honesty and transparency like they have for over 4 decades. And by the way, Two Rivers Ford has one of the best inventories of Ford trucks in the Southeast. There's Ford Truck Month, and then there's Two Rivers Ford Truck Month. So get to the South's most trusted Ford dealer for the best prices of the year on the best-selling truck in America. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. They're local, honest, and real. Again, Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Hour 3 on Ramon and Will continues this Friday morning. 615-737-1045. Open to your calls. What do you want to know about what it's like going through the NFL Combine? The NFL has done such a good job, Ramon, turning the draft into an event, into hope, into something that is football without a football obviously ever being thrown. And it's not just the NFL that has made it so. The interest in college football mixed with the interest in pro teams, mixed with the coverage of the media that does both of those things really well on ESPN. It is one of my favorite things in sports. And it is pretty funny, I think, to the maybe casual sports fan who probably has trouble understanding it. And I understand why, because it's a sporting event that's not really a sporting event, isn't it?
Is it right? And there's a lot of conversation around it, too. Like, I've seen the narrative of how the combine is projected, or the way it seems as well, with, guys lining up in their underwear and being evaluated with everything. And I'll just say this when it comes down to it, like, that's just kind of how that operation goes at combines. I've seen baseball combines. They do the exact same stuff. Savage tells the story all the time, and, he was training. One thing he wanted to be able to do is take his shirt off and hit the gym, and everybody see the transformation that he is. Like, the eye test matters in these type of situations. And guys, I'll say this too, when it comes down to the opportunity that's presented, are glad to be there. I was so hyped when I got my invite. I felt like I was going to get one, but to actually get it was cool, because we were 5-6 my senior year, and I didn't think losing teams got invites, but they're trying to see the prospect in these situations right here. And take me back to 2009, boy, golly, nerves, Will.
There's so many different things we can talk about with this process, and so much that I want to pick your brain about. But to start with, what does the general public not know or appreciate enough about the NFL Combine process that stood out to you going through it?
What they don't know is you see more of the human element of players in that situation. Nobody's got really their name tag, jersey name on, and nothing like that. And everybody is just a human being there. And watching guys, thinking back to it, and even seeing it when I've gone back with the Titans or just visited in general, you see the nervousness in their eyes. No matter how big a prospect is, it can be a first-round quarterback or whatever. The difference in knowing you belong somewhere and trying to belong somewhere is crazy to me. Like, everybody's eyes are big. You have no real idea of what the process is going to be like, and you're just following instructions the entire time. That's where I think you get the more human element of guys just being athletes and trying to survive the next level.
So the interview process, you mentioned the human element, and the interviews where you are challenged, you get to know coaches, you have maybe some positive interactions with people you didn't know, maybe some negative interactions with people that you did know. Let me ask this to make it specific. Who, maybe not who it was with if you don't want to divulge that, but what was your most interesting interview like? Like the one that stands out to you the most at the NFL Combine?
Pittsburgh.
Really? Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Because I've heard parts of this story before of what your interview was like with the Steelers, but that's interesting that's still even the one that stands out the most.
It does. I met with them. That's the thing. So you get to the combine, like the old school way of doing it. I'm not sure if they still do it this way, but you stayed at the train station hotel that was downtown. Literally, there are carts inside of there are train carts that guys stay inside of as well, and there's 2 bedrooms to it, and you stay in there. I didn't stay in the cart. I stayed in an actual hotel room, which is connected to it as well. And I never forget getting to the room. They got your merch bag there. They got your schedule. They got your lanyard and everything else that's involved with it as well. You get a lot of gear at these types of things. And they give you your list. I had 3 teams. They were all AFC North teams. It was Cleveland, it was Pittsburgh, and it was Baltimore. So those were my 3 visits. And some guys will also, as the other side of it as well, they got like 12 visits or 18 different teams that they got to go see too. But I never forget, literally start time for the interviews, show up, and you go to the middle of like the courtyard area, and it's really just a speed dating. They blow a whistle when you're done or blow the horn when you're done and you leave. I'll never forget walking inside of that Pittsburgh room, and I remember this one vividly. They had tape on, but they weren't showing my tape, and it wasn't playing. So they just had the blue light up there, and it was my time to sit down. I'll never forget, there's a U-shaped setup, 3 tables, and then there are scouts and ownership behind you as well.
Sitting in the back, right.
Sitting behind you.
So you're in your own room, just you and the team here.
This is like a scene from Casino or Goodfellas. Like, you walk in a room and you hope you leave out. This is the way it's kind of set up, and it was dimly lit as well. And I'm sitting in there, and they start asking football questions and whatnot, and one of the first questions that was brought up to me, and they really want to see the shock factor as well. Why did you get Coach Fulmer fired? 22 years old. I don't really know how to answer this question, but I gave an answer. Well, as much as we possibly could do. There was a lot of guys not in the same boat as we were. We weren't rowing in the same direction. Well, weren't you a captain? Why did you allow it to get out of hand? And I'm just stuck and just looking at it. And it's fascinating because fast forward to 11 years later when I'm done in my playing career, Coach Tomlin and the scouts that was scouting me at the time sent me my one draft card that they had my grade on.
Wow.
They had me from a 3rd to 5th round draft pick.
Wow.
Hurtful. It's their draft card they had based on my analysis. And Coach Tomlin told me something. It's like, why we ask you that type of stuff. He even said this before I retired. He was just like, we knew whatever challenge we put in front of you, it was going to piss you off, and you were going to just knock it down. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we knew your profile. We knew that if we got you going, that we could make you be successful. I was just like, how do you figure this stuff out? So it's trying to get you to take, I had no red flags. I had a child, which is RJ, with my girlfriend, and now my wife. I had no red flags. So it wasn't an off the field issue with me. They wanted to know what my team dynamic was as a leader and how did we lose grip of the team control at that point in time and got a legendary coach fired. You want to talk about humbling, though. Mr. Rooney's in there. Kevin Colbert, who's the GM, is there. All the scouts, position coaches, and you're stuck for 15 minutes. You got nothing. Barely talk ball, how did, why did, what should you have done type of situations.
That's really interesting.
It can go any type of way, but he took from that moment, we knew if we ever put a challenge in front of you, that's what they took from it. You was going to knock it out the park.
Well, it's so interesting, too, probably the background research they had to do on you before you even sat down. And, I mean, think about the amount of background research that scouts, general managers, football ops people, the amount of conversations you've got to have to get ready to know how to ask questions to everyone that walks in that room. From an offensive line prospect at guard to a quarterback to a wide receiver or a linebacker you want to take in the 7th round and take a flyer on. And the fact that they are asking you questions that they knew would get you going. And to your point, you didn't have red flags. That it's not just the people with red flags you're doing the research on that you want to know how to make them tick. It's so interesting to me.
It was. One of the things I did know, or you said something that people don't understand about this process. If you got talent, it don't matter.
Right. And it's what we talk about with A.J. Brown all the time. If your play outweighs your baggage, you can put up with a little bit of baggage.
Bro, it's crazy because here's the thing. I was the year that Andre Smith, the Alabama tackle, left. In the middle of the night, the day before we were supposed to go do testing. And you want to talk about buzzing around the building inside of Lucas Oil. Andre left. Why did Andre leave? It was a multitude of conversation that was going on. I forget who his roommate was at the time, but he came down talking to us, and he was an offensive lineman. He was just he just walked into the room. He's on the phone with his agent talking about what color he wants his Escalade, what size rims he want to put on it, and then Andre just leaves. Didn't alert nobody. I don't think Andre Smith had any red flags of anything like that. We're still Facebook friends from that day currently, man. And still, to my point, you think one of the biggest interview processes you're ever going to have in your life, Will, and you tell everybody bleep you and I'll see you at the Alabama Pro Day, which wasn't a thing back then. You didn't hold your pro days higher than you did the combine. And for him to leave, and then, of course, on draft day, I think Andre still goes top 10. That was my reality check, just all right, you just got to go work a little bit harder.
Right.
It was a fascinating situation that was, man. I see somebody bring up Pierce situation, but he still goes high in the draft. James Pierce Jr.
Yeah, right.
The league, this NFL league, is predicated, is built on talent, and ain't no other way around it. If you got it, I ain't going to say they'll make an excuse to get it from you, but, yeah, you'll be in it.
Let's go to Jason in the Boroughs, 615-737-1045, where you can join us. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Jason.
Hey, good morning, guys. I know you was talking about the human element earlier. I know it's a little bit different now than when you went through it, but how do you? What's your thought about it? Because they're getting all this NIL money, and it's probably a little bit more cockiness now than it is back when you were playing. Like, yeah, it's still a human element, but how much different is it? Because they already got all this money coming to them, or is that money all that stuff kind of go out of your head when you're in that combine? You think?
That's a great question. I got to answer for you too, Jason. So I ended up talking to VFL Alvin Kamara in one of the pregame interviews we had for him in Knoxville this past season. Mm-hmm. I said, Alvin, man, how is it? How are the young guys coming into the league with the NIL? He said, big bro, he said, the ones that are hungry, they survive. He said, but you see some of these guys come into the league and you just say to them, it's not going to last. He said he's got a young guy that he's mentoring and said this dude has a huge house in New Orleans and also got over $1 million in cars already. He said, I'm not sure if he's going to work out, but I'm pushing him to understand that the main thing must remain, and that's the sport. That's the grind. That's the next contract. He was just like, but it is different. It's like the locker room and how they're perceiving what coaches, talk to him and speak with him. Like,
right.
Jason, to your point, I'm not intimately, informed on how they speak to these guys in his meetings as far as the combine goes, but I'm more than sure the question of money and how they manage it and what have they done to set themselves up to not have issues later in life, it has to be one of the main things. And I'll add this part to it, too. And the types that you got to ask those questions to, because a lot of guys will come in with their jewelry on, or you'll see them on social media, and you got to understand, do you love football?
Right. It's a great question because it's very similar to the question we ask about free agents coming here.
Facts.
Are you coming here for a check, or are you coming here to play football? Come here to work.
Yeah.
And that there is a connotation of the guy that won as a rookie and now wants to get paid and hang out at the house and not bring the same level of work ethic. And I get it, right? Like doing squats and deadlifts in the gym in June to get ready for the upcoming season has got to be harder when you've already earned the big paycheck and guaranteed generational wealth for your kids and probably their kids as well. And when you are grinding to get that payday, it's a little bit different. It feels a little bit different. You don't have a fallback. You're trying to make it.
This is it.
And when you've already made it, just because you were a 4-star out of high school or just because you were the guy that stayed when a lot of your teammates left, you got a bump at a payday because of it. Oh, how does that hunger translate to the NFL? I think it's a really interesting case study and something that we will continue to see have ripple effects across the league.
And by the way, I had an awful workout. I had one of these.
I have your combine numbers if you want to go through them.
It was awful.
You got a nosebleed on your 40.
And I ran a 5.57 and I think a 5.6 the next one. Like if you watch that,
5.66 is what I see here.
If you look at that tape, you'll see me holding my head back while I'm running because I caught a nosebleed inside of Lucas Oil.
See, and that's tenths plural of a second.
And mine was on live. I was trying to tell the guy to sound like I can't run, like my nose is bleeding. It's like we're live. You gotta go.
So the combine's become a television event too.
Yeah.
Back in 2009.
Yeah.
How did you prepare for the 40? And like, how much did you go through drills? And did you have a trainer that was like helping you get ready for the drills? Because this is the thing I'm always interested in too, is like, that's not football. Yeah. Like you're preparing to do testing. And there are some guys that may just over prepare and learn how to technique-wise run a better 40, and they may not really be that fast. Yeah. They just spent so much time maximizing their speed.
You start on the 10, you do band work. I was trying to find lighter shoes. The start time always matters. But I was the Cliff Marshall, trained out of Mason, Ohio, which I probably shouldn't have went to Florida or either stayed here at D1. But he was the guy that was training us on that time. It was all about the start, the 10-yard split. What were you going to do in that time right there? Your speed at the top end is just going to be what it was, but you do everything you can. Small muscle groups lifting, resistance running, training for it, getting as much as you can to the line of scrimmage to get that cheating jump out of the blocks as well. To be quite honest with you, you can steal a couple of ticks a second, but it really ain't a whole lot you can do other than creating better form, especially for a big.
I get it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cone, 3 cone, 7, 9, 6, vert, 26. As long as I got over 25 on the vert, I was good to go.
Interesting.
It's funny because, like, I look at that situation, I was like, nobody cares about the nosebleed. Nobody cares about the time. Like, I knew this about me as a player. Like, I just got to play ball. And that's essentially what happened when I got to Pittsburgh. As bad as these times were and as bad as my performance was, I'll never forget walking inside of that building in Pittsburgh and a main scout, the assistant offensive line coach, told me immediately, you're going to make this team. And I'm just like, what? And then he tells me the assistant O-line coach, he walks up to me, Harold Goodman. He's he's employed right now with the Carolina Panthers. I saw him this preseason. He walks up to me. I'm doing pull-ups in the weight room as a young freshman. I know.
Being a lineman to be able to do pull-ups,
but that's the training. Best shape I'd probably been in at the time. He walks to somebody, hit me in the chest, is like, you know we had a 3rd to 5th round grade on you. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we did. You can make this team. I was just looking.
And then now you know, after your career, you know they weren't lying to you.
They weren't lying to me.
They gave you the draft card. Wow.
Will, 3rd to 5th round, and here I was undrafted. Because here's the thing, too, with the combine shows, which is why the testing means a lot. Every team has a template for what they see acceptable for what they want at those positions.
Yeah, right.
That's why 40 matters. That's why the injuries matter. That's why the projection of this guy looks like player A that we saw in 1991 and you fit the mold to him. And one thing I always say, you can't measure heart. That was my calling card. That and mental toughness.
That would have made me so mad being told that, and I'm sure it did make you mad.
It did.
And it sounds like, too, they trusted you enough and liked you enough so early in your first training camp that they knew they could tell you were probably going to make the team, and it wouldn't make you any less hungry. They knew you would still be motivated to do it and to prove them right. But they were right. They called the shot. Whoever told you that, saying you're going to make this team, and you lasted 11 years.
It still gets
you made everybody really damn proud who was in your corner.
What I'll say this. Would I prefer the draft pick? Absolutely. Would I prefer it because that raises the level of your next contract as well. You're negotiating from a higher level. But I compartmentalize it. What's for me is for me. That was my pathway to the good Lord planning for me. And I'll be real with you, I appreciate it more.
Sure.
I don't want for anything. My career is fulfilled. My respect is high. But boy, Will.
Yeah, you grinded.
Live it.
And you made it.
Live it.
You grinded and you made it. Absolutely. 615-737-1045 is our number. Headline out of the Olympics, an update on Sidney Crosby we can get to. Plus, what do you want to know about the Combine? You can ask Ramon on what his Combine experience was like. 615-737-1045 as we wrap up Hour 3 next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, man. Nobody likes dealing with a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency at all. If you've dealt with any of those issues around your house, it's just problematic for you because most times you don't know how to fix it yourself. But I'll tell you this as well. If you're dealing with bad companies, you don't know how much it will cost if it'll get fixed right. Or if somebody's trying to sell you something you do not need. When you call Hiller, I'm here to tell you, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly. And the price you're told, the price that you'll actually pay with no hidden fees or surprises on your bill whatsoever. They've been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operating. You know this. Somebody's been in business for over 35 years. They do good work. And this is simply because they believe in this. Happy You'll Bill, the service is free. That is their motto. They believe in 100% satisfaction guarantee every single time they do work on your house. Their techs are very professional, experienced, and also trustworthy. And when they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech that's coming to your house and a link to track them in real time, so you're not sitting around wasting your time. Listen, to book with them like I do or just learn more about them, simply go to happyhiller.com.
Wrapping up hour 3 on Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, at Ramon and Will. People used to do Friday follow on Twitter.
Straight up.
Throw us a Friday follow. At Ramon and Will, at Ramon Foster, at Will_Bowling. 615-737-1045. Sidney Crosby not going to play today in the semifinal game for Canada against Finland. Uh-oh. I hope he does obviously get better and is able to play again in this Olympics. And his last Olympic run, he's 38. Underwent an MRI for a lower body injury, classic hockey. He sustained a Wednesday's win over Czechia. Exited during the second period. John Cooper has said, we've got the best of the best looking at him. It would be day to day. He did not participate in the optional skate yesterday. Sources told ESPN Sidney Crosby was seen wearing a walking boot at the hotel earlier today. Man. So Connor McDavid will be the captain today.
I know the producer dude from 3HL is probably livid that he's not playing today. God, dog, man, that's tough.
Everywhere where important hockey games are for us in Nashville, Sidney Crosby is unfortunately there too. So,
what a heck of a player, though. As well.
Worst.
We don't have to bring up bad things.
I shouldn't say anything too mean about him because he is hurt, but like. That's the worst.
That's my old city of employment, man.
I know it
the
is.
Kid is a thing. I got a jersey at the crib right now. I respectfully won't wear it on the show. So there you go.
Still think he needs some Listerine, though.
He needs what? What is that?
Some Listerine.
Yeah, you remember that?
His breath
PK Subban and Sidney Crosby had a go at it in the Stanley Cup final back in 2017 and said, man, his breath stinks.
Oh, my God.
That's when Sidney Crosby shoved PK Subban's head into the ice with his hand and was not penalized for it.
Did he really?
Yeah.
So that's why the Sidney hate is so real.
Yeah, some
here.
bad blood there.
And then didn't he throw a water bottle on the ice?
Yeah.
During that series as well?
He got pissed.
He got mad at a ref. And what? No penalty for that either.
So
Golden Boy.
Subban was a little bit of an agitator. But he was relishing in that.
Laugh. A little bit.
A little bit of an agitator?
I love PK Subban.
Did you?
It's a compliment, but like, oh yeah, he was big time agitator.
He's become big time now as well.
Yeah, he's crushing it. I love PK.
Yeah.
I love him.
So that's where the Sid hate comes from.
Oh yeah, no, I can't stand the guy.
I know my trainer.
Cannot stand
my guy James hates him. You're rolling in the same direction.
Raising my hand.
Okay.
Again, he's hurt. I hope he gets better. I want to beat him. So yeah.
Okay, understood.
It runs deep with Predators fans for sure.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah, come on,
no,
bro.
I don't want to catch him outside. He plays hockey. He could punch my lights
Probably
out.
do a thing, right?
Yeah, that's right.
No doubt about it. Man, you made me
send
go
Ramon
back.
at him.
Nah, Sid, cool. I never met
Retired.
him. We share a similar city together. You made me go back and look at the 09 draft class. It was a lot of real good undrafted guys that came out of that group. I'm proud of this group, man. It's real. Arian Foster was a part of it.
Yeah, that's right. Your brother?
Yes, my brother from another. Britton Colquitt was a part of it. Graham Harrell was another one of those.
Yeah, I remember Graham Harrell.
Man.
Yeah.
Graham Gano, Danielle Ellaby out of Georgia, real good Baltimore linebacker for a while. This is a good group. Chris Baker, DN, came through here. Who's the Tennessee Titans undrafteds that year? Oh, Titans didn't even do one. Fascinating. Rashad Langford, Dallas Reynolds.
So you,
Chase Daniel.
for people who are unfamiliar with your story too, you were in Pittsburgh your entire career.
Yeah.
You were also close, weren't you, to not being in Pittsburgh at one point?
I was. I think it was like around that 17 era. I had mentioned to my agent that I wanted to come home and see if the Titans were interested. There might have been light. John Robinson, that group, clearly he called me far too slow, so it wasn't a real opportunity. I lasted longer than he did.
Yes, you did. Yes,
too slow.
You absolutely did.
But I brought that up because my mindset was my kids are getting older. It'd be cool to play for home and stuff like that.
Right.
So it never happened. Pittsburgh came in strong with a deal that kept me home and stuff like that. So it wasn't no biggie on my end.
How important is that to players going back home maybe later in their careers?
Kids and family play a part in it.
Yeah, right.
I didn't want to manage that my earlier parts of my career. It's just too close to home, too many tickets and stuff like that I realized. But being settled in was the conversation that I was having with my agents. Like, hey, I'd consider this if the numbers are right and they were interested in stuff like that. I think at the time, Tennessee was playing more of a zone offense, outside zone offense, and I was more of a power inside zone player too. Like body types and stuff like that matter. Like we always clamor over, hey, go sign that free agent. Like the team concept has to matter as well, and what the stereotypes as far as the players that they're looking for too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just go pick that player and bring them here. Like, no, you got to match the scheme as well. And I'm an AFC North dude. I'm a bruiser, mauler, those types of things. Michael Bennett was in that group as well. That's undrafted.
Okay.
Brian Hoyer also.
It's the 8th round.
8th round.
A lot of good talent.
Jeremy Parnell. Wow.
A lot of good talent you can find.
Me and Arian held it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex Boone was a part of that. Oh my gosh, what a group!
2009, 17 years ago.
Stop! Why did you?
It's as crazy to me as it is to you. I'm not calling you old. Trust me.
I know there's a guy in this group, man. To R.I.P. to him, Javon Belcher, the linebacker that himself at the Kansas City Chiefs facility.
Yeah, that's right.
That was Romeo Cornell group. Wow, that's crazy.
Coming up, fourth and final hour of the show, Ron Slay is going to stop by, as always, to talk about SEC hoops, Tennessee and Vanderbilt going at it tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a new segment, Ramon, 90 minutes in 90 seconds. What to know about Nashville SC's first game.
Let's do it.
After this.
8:58, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. The final offensive coordinator vacancy in the NFL is now filled, per Adam Schefter this morning. The Rams are promoting pass game coordinator Nate Scheelhaus to offensive coordinator. Scheelhaus has interviewed for 5 head coaching jobs during the hiring cycle this offseason, but is the logical fit in L.A. at offensive coordinator, replacing Mike LaFleur. In Winter Olympics yesterday in Italy, 4 minutes and 7 seconds into overtime, Megan Keller scores the gold medal winner as the U.S. women's hockey team beat Canada 2-1. It marks the 3rd gold medal for the U.S. women's team and first since 2018. Coming up today, the U.S. men's team is back on the ice as they take on Slovakia in the semifinals with puck drop at 2:10 p.m. Central Time. And coming up this Saturday, tomorrow night, Nashville SC takes the pitch at Geodis Park for the start of the MLS season as they host New England Revolution with a 7:30 p.m. first kick. You can hear the match right here on 104.5 The Zone with Will Bowling, who's got the call for that one. Coverage starting at 7 o'clock. Also in men's college hoops tomorrow afternoon, Tennessee comes to town to face number 19 Vanderbilt in Nashville Memorial Gym with a 1 p.m. tip-off. You can also hear that game right here on 104.5 Zone. Coverage for that one starts at 12:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Well, would you look at that? It is the big finish of the week, of the Friday of your morning on Ramon and Will. Glad you are with us. Hope you stick around for 60 more minutes. Hope you just listen to The Zone all day because we got good stuff for you. Anytime people are in this building are talking into microphones. 615-737-1045. The number, Ron Slay, going to join us in 20 minutes. Talk about Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Dane Bradshaw yesterday on the show, Ramon, felt like it was leaning Tennessee.
He did.
Do you share that feeling ahead of Tennessee-Vandy tomorrow?
I do, just based off the hearing our experts speak about it as well. If the Vols, and Hubs said it too, good Vols is when they got a post game. If they can get the interior guys going, the bigs going, then they have the ability to beat almost anybody. Staying out of foul trouble is going to be the thing, too. And, of course, the Memorial Magic that they're going to have to face going into it, emotions. Jalen Carey, if you got one, get it out the way, okay? Jalen, if you got one, get it done early and set the tone for the rest of the game, man. That's the way I look at this one. It's going to be fast. Tyler Tanner's been on a heater as of late, too. And we'll see what they do with, what's his name, Duke Miles.
Duke Miles, the Oklahoma transfer.
Yeah, seeing what I bet, just because he's going to play. Most definitely.
We'll see. We will see. Going to be interesting and a very, very interesting matchup between Tennessee with the front court advantage, the height and the size, against a backcourt driven and led team in Vandy. I wonder for Tennessee if their front court advantage is kind of neutralized if JP Estrella can't play. Right. And then all of a sudden, now you don't really look that much deeper than Vanderbilt does. Tennessee's still the number 1 offensive rebounding team in America. So I think there is no scenario where Tennessee wins at Memorial Gym without feeling really like they are picking up 8 to 10 points, right? No on the offensive glass. I think the matchup comes down to Jacoby Gillespie versus Tyler Tanner. Who turns the ball over? Who makes their threes? Who hits their open shots? I worry about that a little bit for Tennessee. Worry is not the right word. I'm interested in it for Tennessee with Tyler Tanner's ability to turn you over and Jacoby Gillespie being inclined to turning it over. And just how does Tennessee handle the environment, handle the atmosphere? I mean, you're walking into a difficult place to play.
And they want it that way.
That being said, the fact that Vandy basketball is tweeting out links for students to buy more tickets and asking them to buy tickets, and Mark Byington has to say on Twitter, students, we need you, please show up, is embarrassing. You've got a top 20 team, and you've got open student tickets available 2 days before the game. These have been open since Monday.
I didn't realize was the case.
Vanderbilt fans, where are you? You're in our F&M Bank chat all the time. And again, man, the Vanderbilt fans, like, I feel like, and I'm going to give you guys credit on this. there is a younger generation of Vanderbilt fans on social media, with podcasts, with shows that I have a lot of respect for, because it does feel like there is a changing of the guard within the Vanderbilt fan base.
I agree with you there.
And I like that for you guys. I know I've said dumb things and probably argue with many of you, but at the end of the day, it's sports, right? Like,
Right.
I respect and love the fact that this is a rivalry at the peak of its powers again, and the fact that new, younger voices are a part of the discussion.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I probably come across that like I don't. Trust me, it's just sports. None of this is personal. I love it, okay?
Although they get personal with you. And
I don't care.
Be real with you. They got, pause. We got to be able to do this.
Yeah.
As far as sports is concerned, laugh and joke at one another. Like,
for sure.
What I would say, Vandy, like new age Vandy, y'all got to keep the personal side out of it.
And some of that's my fault.
Thank you.
I took some unnecessary shots at some people probably years ago.
Okay, well, will you
that
bring
I
it
regret.
back too then?
Yeah, right. 100%. Like it's all in good fun. So yeah, I regret a lot of that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But and not just because they're better now and they have more legitimate trash talking that they can do. No, but in all seriousness, though, I do enjoy that this is a hostile environment, that this is going to be a fun game. I'm just wondering why more Vandy students haven't claimed their tickets. And I know that Vandy fans are also wondering that on social media as well.
It ain't even midterms yet. Like, don't even do this, y'all.
It's not even spring break yet. It's February the 21st for when this game's going to be
We
played.
got no holidays coming up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there is no excuse for there to be one empty bleacher seat for Vanderbilt in Tennessee.
Thank you.
Not a single excuse.
I love this type of stuff. Going into those buildings, like as a fan, I'm not going. I'm too emotional to go into Memorial Gym coming up. Last time I went was the Lady Vols game last year.
That didn't go well either, did it?
Oh, it did not. And they were loud and raucous. But the gym though is dope. It echoes the way you need it to, and the team is good as well. I'm with you. I can't believe he's asking students to show up.
Crazy.
Should never be the case.
But that being said, the team on the floor and the team Tennessee's got to go up against, it is a really fun clash of styles.
Yeah.
Really fun clash of styles. Tennessee wanting to slow you down, Vanderbilt wanting to speed you up, Vanderbilt's backcourt, Tennessee's front court. It's going to be really fun. So, 1 o'clock tomorrow.
And his turnovers. That's where that's most concerning to me. He dribbles out front sometime and don't protect the ball and get kind of loose with it. And this is the wrong team to do it against. Just all the way through, the wrong team to be turning the ball over, because they're going to get it and go, and they score efficiently.
Yeah, definitely. And two, you can live with maybe some more of those turnovers when you have 7 steals as well.
And that's
he did that against Oklahoma on Wednesday.
He did, and the transition scoring is something that needs to be good. Like, I'll act savage about it. I know some like arenas have the depth. What is it? Just the way you see
depth
the
perception.
gym,
Yeah,
the way you see the rim.
Right.
Get comfortable.
Yeah.
Because you can just miss shots in there because of the way the court setup is and the way the bleachers is up in. I want to act savage about that when he comes into the studio. That's got to be a different look to the eye with how that gym is set up.
Sure. We'll get the full breakdown coming up here in 15 minutes. And again, we've talked a lot this morning about Wes Rucker, about the really sad story yesterday and his passing on I-40 in a terrible car crash yesterday in Knoxville. And we talked about earlier, too. Ramon, I love all of the kind words on social media.
Yeah.
And kind words and social media are usually two things that don't go together. And the way people have remembered him and said kind things about him has been really cool to see. I hate that it came under these circumstances, of course. But I think it is a gentle reminder, I know, to myself and to all of us, again, to remember the human that you are talking to on social media and the human that you are reading content from on social media. And Wes Rucker, who interacted with anybody who loved him or hated him on social media, he'd give you a response and he would always have a conversation. I wish he would have been able to benefit more from the kind words being said about him today while he was still with us. And so it is a reminder to me today of just, remember who you're interacting with and when in doubt, be kind.
It just goes back to the point of, like, people won't remember what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing a lot of that on social media Wes Rucker probably didn't know he had that type of impact on people. And I've had a conversation with one or two media folks that, like, the job that you do it with a whole lot of love and do it with the intensive purpose is that people buy into what you're selling.
Right.
And Wes did a real good job at that, man. Again, prayers up to his family, his immediate wife, his young son, Hank, and he's got a baby girl on the way, too, as well.
Yeah.
What we were talking about on break, like that Knoxville community is still a big town. Tennessee, even Nashville, is still a big town. I know we're a big city now, but you hit personal, relationships with a lot of people that you see on social media in this state still.
Let it be an inspiration to talk about sports in a professional and kind way in remembrance of Wes Rucker, who had strong opinions, who had passion for what he believed, what he wrote, the people that he covered, the stories that he told. Yet at the end of the day, will be remembered as a father, as a husband, as a brother, and as a friend because of the way he treated people within those conversations. And let that be an inspiration to all of us to carry ourselves in this sports world with passion, but with humility and kindness the way that Wes Rucker did.
No doubt.
100%.
I have so many different thoughts behind it. Like, of all the things that we're speaking about him.
Yeah. Speaking about the person.
The person.
Right.
And, like, that's why I always try to let our listeners, especially in the mornings, we get, it's how you start your day.
100%.
Nobody cares if you right, left, black, white, fat, skinny. Man, be good. And then the way people are speaking about Wes, like, it was a good dude.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Again, a morning where it's difficult to transition to and from sports and all of these things and talk about things that feel so trivial and so shallow within a week and a morning and a day like this. But that's exactly what we're going to do. We have this new segment. We have an idea, Ramon, of not just for you, but for the Nashville community to get people into soccer.
Come on.
To get ready for Nashville SC season. I will have the call tomorrow night here in the Zone, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 kick for match day 1, Nashville SC versus the New England Revolution. Justin, you have the referee whistles for me ready here in a minute?
Yep.
All right.
We're going to see how it plays out.
This is called 90 minutes in 90 seconds. Hit it. Okay, we are off and running. Nashville SC match day 1 against the New England Revolution. Nashville SC gave manager BJ Callahan a contract extension to the 2028-29 season earlier this week as they come off of a 2-0 victory over Atletico Ottawa in the CONCACAF Champions Cup and come back home. This is the beginning of the MLS season, a year removed from Nashville SC's best ever season in terms of wins in all competitions with 22, MLS wins with 17, goals in all competitions with 75, and the first professional sports title in Tennessee, winning the U.S. Open Cup over Austin FC. Brian Schwacke got the start for Nashville SC against Atletico Ottawa. He is also the first goalkeeper in Nashville SC history with wins in his first 6 starts. We'll see who starts in net tomorrow night. Maybe Tuesday's game was a nudge to tell us that it's going to be Schwacke as the new number 1 this year. We'll have to wait and see. New England Revolution, coached by former U.S. Olympic and U23 coach Marko Mitrovic, who makes his debut as an MLS head coach. He was hired as New England's 10th head coach on November the 7th. The New England Revolution have missed the postseason each of the last 2 seasons. They were a solid team right on the cusp of playoff contention last year, but they were shut out a number of times last year. They did have 10 clean sheets, but they were held scoreless 9 times by opponents, including in the first game of the season against Nashville last year.
Hey, now.
That is 90 minutes and 90 seconds, previewing Nashville SC versus New England Revolution.
I'm messing with it. I like it, Will.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 the kick. I'll have it for you here on the Zone.
Hey, good stuff, man. You going to get this soccer and like it. Do you hear me? 90 minutes and 90 seconds. Hold up real quick. I always got follow-ups. Why would they change goalies? Is that a normal occurrence right there?
Great question. So Joe Willis has been the number 1 goalie for Nashville Soccer Club since Nashville Soccer Club started playing soccer.
Okay.
He has 76 career MLS shutouts in 298 MLS games in 14 seasons. He is 37 years old, and Brian Schwacke, the number 2 last year, who started on Tuesday, is 23 years old, brings a little bit of a different skill set.
Okay.
Brian Schwacke is a goalkeeper that can play with his feet, meaning that he can pass really, really well as you build out with possession from the defensive end to your offensive end. To give credit to Joe got a lot better at that after B.J. Callahan was hired in July of 2024, and you tip your cap to Joe for mastering a new skill, and he certainly did. Joe has been a spectacular leader for this club and is still in that locker room and may still get the opportunity to start a lot of games and might start tomorrow. We don't know yet. But Brian Schwacke feels like the future and clearly has shown this staff enough in training and enough through the way that he's carried himself in 1 year in the locker room to earn a potentially stronger look at being the starter.
So they drafted before they needed to, basically.
They signed him, but
signed
for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Fascinating. I didn't know that was a thing. You said he plays with his feet better, but I guess he would. With him, he's the only one that can use his hands.
So you can bring on more pressure from the opponent and open up more space the rest of the field if you have 11 guys playing against 10. So what I mean by that is you're taking the opponent goalkeeper out of it. Yeah. If Brian Schwacke is building out and he counts as an 11th player with the ball, you're playing against 10 outfield players for the team, meaning there's always a spare man to pass it to.
Yep. So
until you get to the other box when the goalie is now involved.
Hear me out.
Yep.
This to me is essentially like having a mobile quarterback on offense.
Precisely. It's like playing 11 on 11 in the run game.
Instead of 11 on 10.
You get a plus number when you have a goalkeeper that can pass the way the rest of your team can. And also, he can't pick up the ball if it's passed back to him unless it's headed to him.
Yeah. Okay.
So to your point, like he can use his hands. Well, not if it's passed to him.
If he's in play.
Correct.
Yes.
Even if he's in the box. If he's passed the ball, he can't pick it up. Okay. He has to kick it.
He got to kick it at that. And he's good with his feet.
Very good with his feet. Yep.
Look at me.
There you go. Christian Espinoza making his MLS debut for Nashville tomorrow as well. 83 assists since 2019, second most in MLS for the San Jose Earthquakes, coming over as Nashville's third designated player on the roster. There you go. That's your 90 and 90. Coming up, Ron Slay is going to join us. Larissa's wanted to chime in this morning. Larissa, we don't have a ton of time. We got Slay coming up next, so we got to be quick. But we did want to give you a chance to chime in this morning. What's
Larissa.
going on?
Everybody met you but me. Crazy.
You guys are amazing. Great show. You guys have hit on so many topics, so I'm going to be try to be just as quick. And first and foremost, my condolences to for Wes Rucker's family and friends, to all of you that knew him. I did hear him and so on and so forth, but God has a weird plan for all of us. My late parents would say, when God gives us another day, we become architects and shaping ourselves, and that's one of the things. And I love the fact that you guys hit on kindness, because our behavior does affect other people. Yep. And kindness is free. And right now, a pack of gum is $20. So be kind. At least that's free. And, it's true. We all know that. And shout out to the ladies, the hockey team. Yeah. That was amazing. Solid. He is putting something together. I keep reiterating that. NFL is called a well-oiled machine. And I'm confident and I definitely feel and excited that what we see on the field is going to be, I guess, what they do behind the scenes, we're going to see it on the field. But you guys have a great day. But I did have a quick question, Ramon.
Yeah.
In regards to when you were at the Combine, did you guys, socialize with each other and have dinner? Or was everyone just no, all about business? And I'm going to hang up and listen.
Great question.
Thank you, Larissa.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Appreciate the call. Good to hear from you as always.
Situation is like a catering situation. They put us all in one big room for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and stuff like that. We socialize, but athletes got huge egos and always scared to go, hey, man, I remember playing you. We're weird like that, but we socialize and fraternize a little bit.
I like it. Thank you, Larissa. Always good to hear from you.
Thank you, Larissa.
Ron Slay joins us coming up next. Big weekend of college hoops upcoming. Look, our guest this morning would tell you that's every weekend.
Absolutely.
Even when football tries to steal the spotlight, and there's no stealing that they could do.
We do what we do.
Not this weekend. NFL Combine can wait. Basketball time in Tennessee. Ron Slace here. What's up?
What up, baby?
How we doing?
Savage. Good, man. Rocking and rolling, baby. You know that. You know,
Just
we
getting
passed the flying colors when it come down to our basketball coverage.
Y'all have been better.
We've transitioned.
Y'all have been better. I don't want to just give y'all that much right there.
Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is
there
best.
There you go. Y'all,
and as always, go Titans.
Y'all getting 1% better each day. Each day.
Look, that's all we can ask for.
That's all I can ask.
High five.
That. You see that virtual high five right there? That air five we just did. Listen, all I'm saying is we remember names, we give respect, and we do the job the right way. We don't leave people off of tweets. You know what I'm saying? Like the little producer dude on 3HL.
Yeah, you're supposed to get him.
You know what I'm saying?
You're supposed to get
him. Little producer dude on 3HL.
That's my guy, man. Little Zelfa, man, that's my
Joseph.
dude. It's just
little Joseph.
You gotta keep your foot on his neck though.
Now,
Joseph like to squirm.
I'm gonna start. See, he got a cool nickname. We're gonna get to sports in a minute. He got a cool nickname that you gave him, Zelf. I want to call him Joseph.
Yeah, you ain't wrong if you do that.
But when he keep it up, he gonna turn into Little Joe.
Look. See, and nobody want to be Lil Joe.
Nobody wants to be Lil Joe.
Nobody want to be Lil Joe.
That's what he gonna turn into.
That's back door.
It made me call the hotline. I ain't even called the employee line earlier.
I was proud of you. I like when
you
my dog
told
go
him.
in.
You said he said he liked to play.
You don't want to do this.
And then he didn't take ownership.
He does that all the time. I'm telling you, I'll just put him on mute sometimes. Just because he get to acting that way.
Put him on mute.
You got to, dog. I'm telling you, that's my dog, man.
Okay.
But you got to sometime, man. What about, man, I was going to the barbershop listening to y'all, and man, I got whipped over, man, right there off of the little police was sitting right there on Charlotte on the off ramp, man. I'm going on around to get off right there on Rosa Parks, man. And he done whipped me on over, man.
Aww.
Cool dude, though. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all always have your license and your insurance card and everything ready, man. You're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't even think, I forgot to give him my registration, but shout out to him. But I had
Shout
it, you know what I mean?
officer.
Everything was right there, you know what I mean? Insurance card, everything, you know, he gave me a little citation, man. But shout out to him.
He still.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
Okay.
Wasn't bad. This was good.
Okay.
This was cool. This was
Good
cool.
interaction.
Yeah, great interaction.
Okay, great
Yeah, it
interaction.
was great interaction.
We love great interaction.
Gotta contribute to state funding.
Yeah,
is
and
what
I
you
ain't mad.
The police
I ain't mad
officer's
at it.
upcoming ball.
I'm looking forward to the little traffic school. Whatever that is. I'm trying to jump on it right now.
I know they say we got friends in low places. I hope we got a friend in a high place that
I'm
can
just
get
throwing
you
it
out
out
of the
there,
school.
man. I would love to be out of it.
But
I'm
you
just
ain't
saying.
begging.
I ain't know.
You'll do your duty.
I'm looking forward to it.
We apologize for potentially distracting you or getting you fired up.
It was
enough.
y'all. Yeah, it was y'all. I was ready to roll.
Okay.
Well, I was ready to roll.
Good.
That's all I'm saying. Y'all had me rolling.
But a friend in the high places would be okay.
That's all right.
To get you out of job.
That's all
school.
right with me.
All right then. All right.
All right. Yeah. But officer, hey man, shout out to him though. Real cool, man. You know what I mean? We just didn't house me nothing. Actually, probably 10 minutes. And I was on my way. I was like, man, that's all right right there. Yeah, let's roll.
Shout out to her.
That's him.
Him.
Yeah. I told him I apologize.
All right. Yeah, I said.
My bad, man. I get tripping and listen to Ramon and Will.
I'll put something on it.
Gonna keep the party going.
Pass the plate this way right here.
Speaking of party going, I feel like we gotta jump into it.
Yeah, go for it.
Memorial Gym, Savage.
Yes, sir.
Our guy that keeps dropping nuggets in the chat said you never lost to Vandy?
I think I lost maybe once, maybe twice. They beat us at Tennessee one time.
PSL for sale. I think that's who it was.
Yeah, they beat us at Tennessee one time.
You didn't lose when the Pro Cone Band played in.
No, that was senior night. They gave me another senior night.
The Pro Cone Band playing in warm-ups at Memorial Gym, which they thought was a good idea.
I greatly appreciate them. I'll never forget that.
For real.
They did me justice, man. I never forget, man.
That's my favorite of your stories.
Dude, I never warm up. And I never come out because it was dumb to me to come out, warm up, get a good sweat going, then go sit back down.
Look at you
in the locker room.
In hindsight, though,
you know what I mean?
Would you still do it the same way?
In hindsight, I would have never went out there till we damn near ready for the jump ball. Like so that you got to think. After I figured it out, I became also an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood the effect of when the big dog, the villain, whoever it is, the good guy walks out. The cheers or the boos, whatever it is.
You were born an
crowd.
entertainer.
Oh, yeah. I was like, hell yeah.
You've been an entertainer.
Y'all going to see me when I come up out of here. You know what I mean? And you going to feel it. So,
You like the pimp. They need to smell your cologne.
Come on, dog.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have did it every time. Just because I also had a problem with, like, sweating. You know what I mean? So once I start sweating, it's hard to stop. And I was cramped. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I mean? If I drink a soda the night before a game, by halftime of the next game, I'm cramping for sure. Wow. It's a guaranteed.
Wow.
Like, yeah, so I was, it was weird. But I remember when I didn't warm up, and John Higgins came in and was like, dog, you ain't been out there and seen what's going on out there yet? I'm like, nah, what's up? So I'm like, this is fool tripping. CJ Watson come in, who's like, boy, you gonna love this. I'm like, what's up, man? What are y'all talking about? So I really wanted to go out there and peek. You know what I mean? I was like, I ain't even gonna trip. Let me stay locked in. Man, we came out to go and do the warm-ups right before the tip.
Yeah.
Man, and the band was over there doing like, they wasn't even playing. They was just doing like this.
Yeah.
It's a Nashville thing. Pump your arms. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And they were doing, I was like, what is Pearl Cone band doing in Memorial Gymnasium? Like, what is... Oh, yeah, I see what y'all want.
So then the jolt hit you, right?
I see what y'all, it's showtime.
Okay.
It is showtime.
Like, did they not do their research?
Man,
Like, what?
I don't know, but I thank them.
Was it the running Mac set this up?
Man, I don't know who set this up. I
There's so many
appreciate
teams that play in Memorial every year that you could have had the pro band out for.
You could have had anybody. But you picked us.
But you picked
on my last
Pearl Cone legend, Ron Slay coming to town.
My last visit to Memorial Gymnasium, that's what it was. The biggest send-off. I appreciate Vander.
That's cold.
That's what I think. You know what I mean? I hate them. I don't. I love y'all. Y'all brought me so much joy.
You're just like
you know
me.
what I mean? As a kid and everything. Like, I greatly appreciate y'all. Couldn't have had that moment without y'all. It would have never existed. But yeah, man. Going in, I think that I heard you talking about Savage, the arena, the depth perception and everything.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was cool unless you were shooting from the side. The side was a little different, like straight on, and I never had to be in the corners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was always top of the key wings, maybe, but that depth perception was different than it was normal in a sense. You know what I mean? TBA is a little bit different because it goes out and up. That's why when you start talking about NCAA tournament, they put you in these arenas with that depth.
Football stadiums and stuff.
That's tough. That's tough because it's so flat. There's nothing behind it. The quicker it rises, the easier it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
See the background of
it. Yeah,
Okay.
you want to see it because it starts to affect you on the depth perception as far as you looking through. Man, you'll start doing stupid stuff like looking through the backboard.
Oh, man.
It's crazy. It'll mess with you. You know what I mean? You got to seriously lock in and just depend on muscle memory.
Right.
At that point. But
wow.
Yeah, it affects a couple people. But man, once you get into it, if you're a shooter. The problem is for the people that's in between.
Right.
They're shooters. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't really supposed to be out there, but, you know what I mean? You supposed to be in a little bit. I might get one.
You're supposed to shoot it if you're open.
Exactly.
Right.
So, yeah, that's it. But I always loved playing there, man, because I grew up playing there. So, it was homecoming for me.
It's a really interesting matchup, Slay, in this one, as you know, with Vandy's guard play, Tennessee's forwards. I'm curious how JP Estrella's potential absence affects this game. And I mean, to be fair, Rick Barnes said it on the Vol Hoops social media from the locker room video they put out. He said, this is the best game we played all year against Oklahoma, and that was without JP Estrella. Walk me through the X Factor, Slay, if you will, on where you think this game is won or lost between Tennessee and Vandy tomorrow.
Well, I continue to say the Achilles heel for Vanderbilt is the front court. I thought Dane hit on a great point yesterday with you guys, talking about the pressure and the defensive extension of their defense as far as pressure goes, 94 feet, with Byington doing it with Duke Miles, Frankie Collins, those guys being out. So you kind of wear down Tyler Tanner. I think he's been wearing down a little bit towards the end of games. You've been seeing different array of shots, not really on balance like he usually is.
That style of play that they're playing games with, down 20-plus points and double digits to storm back like that.
It's no huddle offense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also they're getting in them holes because they're not necessarily playing their style from the get-go either. Trying to conserve a little bit more because of what he's going to be doing. Like Tyler, in a 40-minute game, having to play 36, 37, 38 minutes. There's a little difference for the style he plays as well. Like, he's in-your-face, you know what I mean? Now, he's not three heels on the three-point line. I'm waiting on you to come to me. He's attacking defense. And then offensively, he's not a guy that's going to sit up there, motion people to get the – he's coming off the pick and rolls going, constant movement. So this part of the season, that's going to wear on you if you ain't got guys. You imagine with Duke Miles having the ball, Tyler can stand more and watch because Duke is a one-on-one guy. He's not getting others involved. He's going to score.
Yeah.
Tyler's getting others involved, so he got to pitch it, come back off, screens for somebody, come back off of it, get the ball again. It's a lot going on with him.
Through the roof.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? But it wears on you because he's got to defend as well on both ends of the floor. But I think the Achilles heel is the big guys. If they can play like Washington has played against Auburn, Okiriki, what he gave them as of late, McLaughlin's been steady, but you got to be able to get that constant effort from them compared to where Tennessee's playing now. I think that's the biggest thing. It's hard for us to get out our minds sometimes what we saw Tennessee playing Florida, Tennessee against Arkansas. That's not the same team that you're getting right now. Tennessee versus Kentucky.
Right.
This is a totally different team. Felix Akbar being back, JP Estrella still being out, but Dwayne Brown been getting those minutes. I even think Jalen Carey was 7-7 last game. Going 1 for 6 from the free throw line was a problem. But outside of that, everything else was cool. Everything was above board. So I would give the advantage to the front court of Tennessee if I'm going to lean on it. And I would say the back court, without Duke Miles and Frankie Collins, should be an advantage of Tennessee as well. You got to also understand the things that the guys are doing differently. Jacoby's not just being a guy that's saying, I got to go score. Now he's figuring out, I got to play defense. I can help run the team.
7
I can find
steals
my spots.
or 8 steals the other night?
Yeah, that's tough.
Program record.
That's tough. So that's now knowing that on defense, I'm not just playing man to man. I'm in gaps. Like I can be, you know what I'm saying? I know where everybody is. It's totally different now. So you learning as you go, and that's a part of the process. You know what I mean? So Nate Mint is a totally different player. Totally different player.
He's
so it's
so much fun.
Yeah, he will be the best player on the floor. If he's not, something's wrong. Simple.
His ability to score at every level, and his, at this point, and I think it's good to work, you let me know, inside out. He's got the shot. But his ability to get there, as Will's called the old school 3-point. The fouls going to the line. I mean,
high release shot, just get hit on the elbow because his elbow's at people's face.
Oh, my goodness. And the thing that I'm more impressed with him as of late, too, like you expect a guy like him who's a lottery pick, right, to have the ball in his hand. Like, he's moving around, Savage, and facilitating himself to get shots or come around and pull up or go to the basket. Like, I'm totally different dude.
Yeah, he knows who he is now.
Totally different dude,
He knows exactly who he is now, getting to those spots. He was getting to the same spots. He was just getting off balance, and he didn't have the respect of the officials either at that time. So now he's getting in them same spots, and when everybody's running up on his legs, like Will said, hitting his elbow, like, he's got respect because, one, Rick Barnes is his coach. 2, he's not – if you go back and look at the games, he was never complaining.
No,
he never whined.
not.
He never put palms up. Right. He never looked over there at the coach like, hey, man, he just continued to play. Young and dumb and didn't know, you know what I'm saying, which helped in this sense. So now officials looking at him like, dude, that's a foul. Y'all can't keep running up under this dude's legs and stuff like that.
Who was
you know what I'm saying?
Arkansas?
It get bad, man.
Everyone.
It get bad. Everybody. Like, it's, So him being able to be strong enough to make those shots and going to the foul line, and he's knocking them down at the foul line. You want the ball in his hands because he's making good decisions, and it's a good shot as far as the touch on it because you're giving the opportunity to get offensive rebounds with it.
I noticed they lost. I know they lost the Kentucky game whenever they were playing, but I thought it was fascinating watching Rick Barnes put the ball in his hands like the last 2.5 minutes.
Go get it.
They cross half court, and it's in his hand. I know he missed a shot and everything.
Yeah, but that's his shot.
But you give that to him 10 times out of 10.
He's been making it the whole game anyway. Like that's That's one of them. We living and we dying with it. If he make it, cool. If he don't, cool. That's just what it is. So Yeah, man. I do think Vanderbilt is playing well. You got to pay attention to detail when playing them. Tyler Nickel, you know who he is. Or Cherokee, you know who he is. Tyler Tanner is what makes the team go. Chandler Bing's coming off the bench, giving them good quality minutes, but he's a freshman. You know what I'm saying? So I just think both teams are in different spaces right now, which to me will make a difference in the game.
I want to ask Slay more about the matchup from the Vanderbilt perspective. One way, maybe on paper, Vandy can challenge Tennessee in a similar way the way Kentucky did. We'll talk about that with Slay as we wrap up the show coming up next. Yes, it is. As we wrap up the show on this Friday morning, Ron Slay is here talking SEC hoops. Buck Rising show on deck. I'll be here again Monday and then off to the Combine. Excited to be there with Titans Radio Tuesday through Thursday.
It's going to be a good time.
And then Nashville SC tomorrow night. New England Revolution, 7 p.m. start, 7:30 kick. I'll have the call for you here on the Zone. Looking forward to it.
Make sure you have a good time up there too, Will Lee.
Absolutely will.
Y'all got reservations together? I promise you, too, it's easier than everybody make it.
Oh, you mean the Combine? I was like, my reservation in the broadcast booth tomorrow at 7 p.m. for media food? What do you mean?
That part as well. It's easier. Like, it's a lot of restaurants up there as well, too. Yeah. I would say bring a jacket because downtown Indianapolis is a wind tunnel.
It's supposed to be in the 30s and like low 40s the whole time we're there.
It's just
so windy. I'm enjoying the short sleeves while I can.
Windiest downtown ever.
I don't know. Welcome to the Midwest. No wonder everyone's so mad up there.
Hungry.
Never see the sun. It's windy. Slay, I'm curious on Tennessee, Vandy, in the way that Kentucky has beaten Tennessee in putting Tennessee's good post defenders in conflict on ball screens.
Yeah.
And getting them away from being rim protectors and isolating them in the mid-range. Denzel Aberdeen crushed Tennessee on that. Now, he made a lot of tough contested shots that were still well defended at times. Then there's also been the breakdowns Tennessee has had within that defensively for a team that doesn't have a lot of defensive breakdowns. How does Vandy's offensive style and quote-unquote spread offense similar or different from what Kentucky does, and how will Tennessee be challenged to defend it?
It helps them tremendously. You got to know who you are. Sorry,
Scotty Scheffler's made a long birdie putt. Multitasking.
Okay, Willie. Great question.
It's a 20-foot putt. He's trying to make the cut.
Right, I see is you got to know who you are, and you only person that needs to be switching is Felix Akpara. I did see him make an adjustment last game. They were hedging, meaning the big would step out, the guard would go under the big and back to his guy. You know what I mean? Like, and if the only other person that has a possibility of doing it is Jalen Carey, but I'm not sure you want to put him in that situation right now. You know what I mean? So everybody else, it's extra effort. That's first and foremost. You gotta go with extra effort. Keep him to where you want him to go. If you let Tyler Turner do whatever he wants to, then you're in trouble. Anybody in the country is. So, that's the adjustment I will make. I think when you look at Kentucky, the difference is you got so many different guys. Owe can go off the ball screen, look for the switch. Colin Chandler even can do it the same thing. Jasper Johnson occasionally, and Denzel Aberdeen for sure. With Vandy is solely Tyler Tanner. Like, I'm not worried about Tyler Nickel coming off a ball screen, somebody switch. You know he's a shooter. Be up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost that simple. Just keep it. Tyler's he's the key. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to be able to contain him. You have to.
And the Vols control the momentum in that building.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
Just because the front court scoring, if they continue to do what they were doing in these last couple of games since other than Kentucky, which is controlling the boards, giving yourself second chance opportunities with offensive rebounds and putting it back, that stops the run.
Yeah.
Where guys can get out and run. Defensive possessions, when they get the rebound, especially long rebounds, and they get out and run, that's how the transition happens. So you putting pressure on them to be sure to box out is a problem. Nate Mint going to the boards, it helps drastically. Bishop Boswell coming up with 7-8 rebounds helps drastically. Amari Evans?
Yep.
Amari Evans, the same. I was thinking Amari Allen for Alabama. Amari Evans is another guy. It's a lot of them, Willie.
Yes.
But he helps tremendously. So you got to put everybody, just like you got to pay attention to who Vandy is, Vandy got to be paying attention to who you are. So as long as you impose your will, I think it should be fine. But it's gonna be a good battle. Yeah. I heard they were urging their students to come out. That's kind of wild. I thought the best thing you played was from the Illinois coach.
Yes.
That was excellent. That was excellent.
Common sense. Like, these guys are treated like world-class, first-class athletes. This idea that, traveling across the country is hard. Yeah. It's better.
Yeah.
There's less distractions. They put you in a room and make you do study hall and watch your laptops. You're just playing like a professional athlete.
Especially now. You know what I mean? I think if you talk about the difficulty in it, it may be a little difficult but not even in conference, because you're seeing these teams once or twice, like you know who they are. You're not getting ready, if you're in the SEC, getting ready for Michigan or Ohio State in the middle of the season. Like, you don't have to do that. You know who the other 15 teams are.
Right.
You understand it. And you're traveling great. Like, as a player, listen, dog, I loved going on the road.
Yeah.
I could not wait to stay in hotels. What?
Me too.
Man, my apartment was cool, but, man, put me on the road in these hotels, man.
Worry about cleaning, food.
The people on the planes know your names. They give me the extra roll of Biscoff cookies and everything. Man, they know what it is coming on now. No.
I was a head case, so take what I say at a grain of salt, but, like, I enjoyed going into, like, a hostile environment like that more. Because there was more pressure to me of performing in front of my people. Again, very small level. I was so far from the level y'all played at. But just my 2 cents on it, like, I liked being yelled at by
the
rival
crowd.
fans
Absolutely.
and, like, the other crowd and, like, no, all right,
You built for it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Absolutely.
I preferred that.
Yep.
It is interesting too. You talk about the Big Ten side of everything. Like, oh no, I have to hang out in California, not the Midwest in February.
And y'all going out there on a West Coast swing. Like,
right.
y'all out there for the week.
USC and UCLA.
Yeah, you're not
Like an NBA team.
Yeah, you're not going to USC, then coming back, then going back to UCLA.
You think that's bothering Juju Watkins or UCLA? Like,
exactly.
We talk about this with like, oh, these men's teams are never going to compete. Well, then what's the difference between them and the women's teams, who probably, let's be fair, like, don't get the same resources as a lot of the men's teams do, and like they're making it work. So why can't the men make it work?
I couldn't wait. Hurry up and get me out of here.
Real question is...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick. It goes back, Mark Byington did that press conference. You talked about it after playing at Texas, saying, well, you know, teams don't usually fare well Wednesday night road games and then having to travel back home for Saturdays.
Oh, here we go.
You put it in your players' minds when you say things like that.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Keep it on mind.
I was just going to say, who going to overdo what the SEC did? I see Duke, Michigan.
Yeah.
I see Houston. Who is this? Houston and Arizona.
There's some good games.
There's
some top-notch games.
Don't be dumb this weekend.
No.
Turn on basketball.
Yeah, there's like starting on Tuesday from the Lady Vols versus Ole Miss.
No,
they deserve it.
They deserve it.
They deserve it. They Savage. We can't keep covering up for them.
I'm not even.
That's one of the worst losses in program history last night.
I told Keisha last night, my boo thing. I said, I blame you. You got me invested in
watching this like
I did. I was mad, man.
Yeah.
Watching them.
Coach McMahon
like
set them on fire. Then Texas A&M reeling at the bottom of the SEC came in there and beat them. And damn, they kind of spanked them early on. In Rocky
by
Top.
21 at one point.
That's what I'm saying.
That is one of the worst losses in program history.
What's her name? Janiyah Room? I think it's what
Janiyah Broom is Auburn.
Yeah.
Joni Moore?
No. Janiyah. She's on the Lady Vols team.
Barker.
Oh, Janiyah Barker.
Barker. She was hooping against a former team.
29.
Yep.
But nobody. Where's Talasia? Kim walking off like.
I hate to end the show on that note, but
the quick handshake. The quick handshake against. Oh,
yeah, they better figure it out.
Not a good look.
I'll say it. The rumblings that were happening in the spring or last fall with Tony Vitello, the baseball crew is loud, I'm sure. They not tweeting about it, but I guarantee there are some texts, some group chats. You gave money to this.
Monday morning, 6 a.m. bright and early. Thank you, Slay. Good to see you.
Always, y'all. Appreciate y'all having me.
Yes, sir.
It's Friday, man. Y'all know how it is, and especially his home today, man. Call your people. They're at the top of your mind. Reach out to them. Have a random conversation with somebody. Appreciate somebody. Buy somebody a drink this weekend in Nashville, man. Pick up a tab. Say what's up. Dap somebody up, man. But again, ELE, man. Everybody love each other, man. And more than anything, we more alike than we are different. Stop letting them make them think we're different and hate each other, man. Love your people. Peace.